Hello, welcome back, everybody, to another edition of AIMBOT. Am I morally bankrupt or them? Where we are doing some judging on the Reddit forums of situations and trying to apply some good old-fashioned moral intuition or maybe some backwards moral investigation into who's right, who's wrong. If you're here for the first time, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe if you can. It helps me out a great deal. But what is our morality based upon? Well, it can be based upon all kinds of things. As I said, most people use their moral intuition. They do what feels right and feels wrong. However, I sort of prefer more trying to apply some principles to it. There's all kinds of different morality. I go in for secular humanism, which sort of says, well, prioritize humans as being the most important thing. Hello, left-handed Jedi. Very good to see you. Really good to see you. And as part of that, we look for consequentialism, how things turn out, and utilitarianism. So I prioritize human well-being. But I might sort of jump in straight away. I'm kind of expecting, because I do know that the American Thanksgiving is around this time. And it seems like, I think somewhere around here. Is it like a couple of days or something from American standards? But anyway, I've noticed that holidays play. There's certain things that come up that are seem to be moral minefields. They seem to be times where we go, okay, there's all these situations and disasters can happen. Holidays seems to be one of them. Marriages, for some reason, another. Sort of moving house is another one. There's all these situations where people are like, am I the asshole for doing this? I don't know if this is this is right or this is wrong. Oh, hello, Austin. Very good to see you. Austin Sims, ladies and gentlemen, new debater coming up. We'll be debating Kent Hovind pretty soon, and I'm honored to be able to host the after show, which is fantastic, Austin. Looking forward to that. We just saw Grayson debate Kent Hovind, and that was fantastic. If you missed it, go to Grayson's channel. I can post a link for that, because by an hour in, after Grayson really held his feet to the fire, he was, oh, it's been 2.5 hours, I got to get out of here, kind of thing. And really, he wanted out in a massive way. It was fantastic. So Austin, really looking forward to it, mate. Really. I think he's put it up. I thought he had. Yeah, he definitely has. So yeah, there's Grayson Hawk. Yeah, I saw it live as well. I was in the chat and causing trouble, as I often do in the chat. It's really incredible, actually. So we have these situations, and it sort of ties into morality a bit. So if you're unaware, Kent Hovind, not only is he an ex-felon, he has a trial, a jury trial pending for a domestic violence charge against Cindy Lincoln, who his ex-wife. I'm not even sure if they were legally married. I don't think they were, because he never divorced like his first one. Anyway, I mentioned something about that in the chat, and someone said, "Oh, don't spread lies," and that's not a lie. That is factually true. Now, you can believe that I think Kent Hovind says, go to Kent Hovind was innocent, kind of thing, and he protests his innocence. But the fact that he does have an upcoming jury trial on this matter is not a lie. It is absolutely factual. There is no doubt about it. But they, for people that sort of take the moral high ground, they cannot hear the truth of things. Yeah, so I really think, really, which side was he on? Which side was he on for that one? Where was that? I would like to see that. I don't know how I feel about free will. I think I agree with Leah Filius actually said it depends how you're defining free will, kind of thing. So it all depends, kind of stuff. Like, it really does depend. I think we don't have as much free will as we want, but it depends what you're sort of calling it. Um, oh yeah, yeah, no, he pinned down that very, very well. We went through a bit of that with Grayson. I've got to post the conversation. I was on a panel with Grayson and Atheist Junior where we sort of talked about it a fair bit. Determinism. He was on the determinism side broadly. Yeah, 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 I got you, mate. But these things where I just this is the problem with theist. This is the problem with theist morality and the way that it's implemented, because what happens is the church becomes more important than people or the truth or you know um the actual how it impacts people and what they should say. You have this idea that churches and institutions and the following that you're ascribing to is more important than the actual individuals involved in it. So, as atheists and as secular humanists, we have no problem calling out somebody that's done something wrong. You know, uh, uh, Lawrence does something wrong, we call them out. So I just don't I just don't think that you should preserve institutions or movements or anything like that over people. Um, who was called out? Lawrence Krauss was called out for some pretty horrible stuff. We'll call out Dawkins if he says some pretty horrible stuff. We don't have this. Well, yeah, they've done wrong, but we've got to preserve the church. It's very, very weird. It's very, very weird. So yeah, I am trying to get more debates. I was going to be involved in a Islam versus secular humanism debate, but apparently they've gone radio silent. I'm kind of getting sick of people dodging debates with me. The weirdest one I had lately, while I was in the chat for Grayson's, Praise AM dropped in, our old friend Praise, all right, who I really have challenged to debate me, and he won't debate me because of one of the titles on my video, which sounds like an excuse to me. Like the title was just Praise's pet rat, and I was calling somebody else, like somebody he doesn't even like. I think it was Will Freeman, a pet rat, and he won't debate me because I need to change the title. I mean, seriously. And then the weirdest thing happened to me in that one. The weirdest thing. It was basically he got into an argument with somebody else, some Dr. Spider, I don't know who that is, and said, okay, I'll debate you, and I'll debate you on Mark's channel. And I'm like, wait, you won't even debate me. Why would you trust me to moderate if you're angry about this name? Oh, no, I'm fine to go on your channel and debate somebody else. How does that work? You're angry about the title of one of my videos, but you'll go on the channel for me to moderate, but won't actually debate me. I don't know. It's so weird that oh, he's done me a raw deal in the title name. Change it, or else I won't debate you. But I'll have you moderate. That's fine. What? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Hello, homies. I'm just going to give a few shout outs. Austin, as actually fantastic to see you, mate. Jake, insert dapper inside joke here. So good to see you, mate. Really, really good to see you. Ember, free will. This is capitalism, fam. You got to pay for will around these. Okay. Hill Hugger, good to see you. Spillcab, good to see you. Is that you, Ralph? Late it's just started, mate. I'm just on a rant as per usual. It's totally fine. I will get started soon because I'm kind of going off on a tangent. Yeah, so good to see everybody. But we are going to, if you haven't joined us before, we are going to Reddit's Am I the Arsehole? And we are looking to see who's right, who's wrong. And I want to know what you think. What you think and why you think it. So sort of when we're talking about morality, there's various ways you can implement it. a lot of people, and I agree with O'Connor on this. I agree with um God, why am I having a mental blank with names? Uh uh, Alex O'Connor on this. God, why did my mind just collapse in a hole? It's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long one. Yeah, thanks, Jake. Really appreciate it, mate. It does matter and it does help me out a great deal. But there's a lot of like he sort of says, well, we're kind of emotivist. We just go with our feelings on the matter, and I don't really see a problem with that because when we talk about intuition, I think a lot of that really comes down to culture. Like people's intuition is really a shorthand to the overall cultural zeitgeist, if you will, of what's right and what's wrong. So I don't really have a problem with that. But I think looking back, we can sort of apply a more formulaic approach to see whether something's right and wrong. But a lot of people just go with that, and I don't really have a problem with it, except where I can actually look back and go, well, that causes these problems. And I think we've got to get better at that, saying, hey, this is causing X problem. That is bad for us because of Y. We have to change that thinking. Oh, that's all right, mate. I honestly don't care. I honestly like do it, downvote it. You know, I don't care. It's all good. It's all good. But you know, mm, I've got my coffee. Let's get started. Okay. And first up, first post of the day. So you slash one street, but really, want to know why things are right and wrong. I want you to tell me why you think, like, not what are you using to decide what's right and wrong. Gut feelings are okay, but I really want to know how you'd evaluate looking back on something to see who's in the right and who's in the wrong. And that's the problem with theistic morality. It's just, well, whatever God has determined to be right and wrong, but that's all up to interpretation, right? All up to interpretation. Oh, 100%. 100%. Could not agree with that more. It is an absolute bitch. Yep. Yep. Okay, so first off from One Street 5122. Am I the asshole for calling out my boyfriend's family for changing the sleeping arrangement rules to favor his brother and sister-in-law? Okay, what? Oh, yeah, it is Thanksgiving. Okay, so these moral minefields like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Um, so all I can suggest over holidays and stuff is communicate, 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 and try to do so like effective communication. Things you should probably avoid is saying, you make me angry or you make me whatever emotion. Nobody makes you feel anything. It's kind of a very faulty way we talk about feelings, like, oh, you made me jealous. No, nobody makes you anything. If you really think about it, it's the thoughts that go through your head that make these emotions come up. So, sort of when you're talking with people, being accusatory about feelings that have come up, um, reframing it can be handy. Like, for instance, and this is just one person's opinion. It is one Aussie guy's opinion. Like, don't take my word for it too much. It's just this has been helpful for me. So, sort of saying, hey, when that happens, I get, sort of put the focus back on what comes up for you and not necessarily that they're to blame. Right. So, if you're saying, oh, when you don't put the dishes away, you make me so angry, that's probably not the best way to approach it. I think the best way to approach it is saying, oh, when the dishes aren't put away, I feel this way. And then it's less you're doing something to hurt me and more it is about me and my feelings towards this particular thing. Now, all feelings are valid. All feelings are valid. The thoughts that you have may not be correct and factual. Like if you're sort of saying, hey, you don't put the dishes away and you make me angry. No, they're not really making you angry. That may not be what they're trying to do, but that's how it comes out. So I think that sort of instead of even if you think they're to blame for your emotion, and I get that, like I think that sometimes it's reasonable for an action that somebody does to trigger an emotion within you. When talking to people about it, it's sometimes really helpful just to say, instead of accusing them of being responsible, just stating it as it comes up. You know, when the dishes aren't put away, I feel angry. Instead of, you make me so angry when you don't put the dishes away, because they're not making you angry, and it sort of sounds like that's what they intend to do, and that may not be what they intend to do. So that's sort of one of the strategies that I have for communicating with people about my emotions without sort of, just sort of letting it degrade, kind of thing. So de-escalation is what it's a part of. We try to de-escalate the things, and so accusing people is a surefire way to escalate the situation. Give it a try sometime. See if it works. It is just, one person's advice. I'm not a psychologist, but it's worked for me, definitely. Okay, so I, 24 female, and my boyfriend Nathan, 26 male, have been together for 6 years. Long-term relationship, cool. This year we traveled to his parents' house for Thanksgiving. Yep, holidays are always a bitch, always a struggle. Maybe have a bit of a understanding about holidays. Does anyone else get uncomfortable when they go to their parents' house? Like I always feel, well, when my parents were alive, my parents have both passed away, but when they were alive, I always felt weird going back to my childhood home. Does anyone else feel that? Like I was back as a kid kind of thing. I always felt weird about that. I know other people have as well. Yes, it is morning where I am, but I would rather you celebrate your local time, quite frankly. Um, yeah, it's a time warp over here. Actually, I'm in the future, so yeah, it's a lovely day. For context, Nathan is one of 4 brothers. Alex, single. Jack, married to Jill. Okay, is that made up names, or is that just a happy coincidence? I really want to know. I really want to know. Jack married to Jill. Is that just an incredibly happy coincidence? I don't know. If they own a bucket of water, I would be so happy. Nathan, me. Oh yeah, right. So Nathan's the third brother. I don't know if they're doing it in age. And Luke married to Millie with a nearly 2-year-old. I always loved the name Millie. It's cool. Everyone lives out of state except Luke and Millie. Nathan and I have the longest drive at 9 hours. Here's the issue. Nathan's parents, Mary and John, have only 2 guest bedrooms. 3 couples tend to visit at a time, meaning someone has to sleep on the air mattress in between the rooms. The first year I visited, I was told they'd rotate who gets the air mattress to keep it fair. But after 3 years on it, we were told first come, first serve. Nathan's job doesn't allow much holiday time, so we're almost always the last to arrive and stuck on the air mattress. While annoying, we understood it seemed logical. Okay. This year was different. Nathan and I got Monday through Thursday off and would arrive first. I talked to Mary about how we were to finally get a bedroom, and she laughed, saying, yep, first come, first served. Millie, who I've grown close to, who was Mary again? Who was Mary? I've lost context. Was there a Mary? Oh, Nathan's parents, Mary and John. Yeah. Okay. Millie, who I've grown close to, knew we were thrilled about the prospect of getting a bed this year. She even decided to come early so we could hang out. We'd planned I'd take the twin room and she'd take the queen. Here's where it gets frustrating. The day we left, I texted Mary our ETA. A few hours later, Millie texted me saying Luke had spoken with Mary, who mentioned Jack and Jill would get the queen room and Luke and Millie the twin room. What? leaving Nathan and me on the aired mattress again. Luke called Mary out, reminding her of the first come, first serve rule. But she suddenly claimed she never said that and justified her decision because Jack and Jill would be staying an extra day. For context, Jack and Jill were arriving a day later than us, so this reasoning felt like an excuse. When we arrived, Nathan brought up the rule again, but Mary got defensive, claimed she didn't even remember saying it, and refused to budge. I said several sarcastic comments that I felt this was really unfair. Yeah, okay, so you're there first. Why don't you just move your stuff into the room and take the room? Like, just go, well, first, and when they put up this first come, first served, I pointed out rules and rules until they didn't serve Jill. And that we always do it a certain way until that means Jill has to take the air mattress, and she could come up with any justification, but that doesn't make it fair. I even pointed out it's silly for us now to have to board out dogs and drive 8 hours before anyone else got here just to change the rules now. She had plenty of time to bring this up with our many conversations leading up to this. She became increasingly sassy about the situation, leaving us feeling defeated and frankly a little targeted. Am I the arsehole for speaking up over thinking Mary unfairly changed the rules to suit Jack and Jill and that we're always stuck with the short end of the stick? No, but I mean, the way that you did it might not have been the greatest. I think that sort of in a situation like this, several sarcastic comments is probably not the best thing to do. The best thing to do is just move your stuff into the room. I mean, you're there first. And here's the thing, that the parents ultimately have the decision over who gets what, right? So saying Luke had spoken with Mary, who mentioned Jack and Jill would get the queen room. Well, I mean, it's really up to your parents. I mean, they're the ones sort of, it's their house that you're going to, right? So yeah, it's really up to them at the end of the day, I think. But there's no problem with bringing it up, but sort of making sarcastic remarks about it is probably not the way to go. So the only thing I can see is with a nearly 2-year-old. So who brought it up? Luke? Luke had spoken to Mary. Yeah, so the only thing I can see is if Luke has a 2-year-old and wants a room for the 2-year-old, I kind of get that because, you know, they've got to do stuff, you know, clean up after them. You know, sort of a 2-year-old out in the hallway may not be the best idea, but I don't notice anything about it. Okay, I'll put the ye ol' poll up. Was poster. So, and things like this, I mean, it may seem small, but I think that you're really talking about a larger issue. You're really talking about sort of being sort of last picked or last sort of prioritized in a family. And that is a big thing among families, sort of thing. It is a big thing. I bet you do. I bet you do. Yeah, yeah. It's not that kind of poll, but thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, I get you. I get you, Jake. It's just it is Thanksgiving, so that's a big thing. I've learnt this as an Australian. Thanksgiving means nothing to me, but I've learnt that it's a very big thing to some families, like the biggest event, sometimes bigger than Christmas. So info, what is Jack and Jill's position on this whole thing? Well, they needed a pail of water. I think they went tumbling after. Look, I'm going to stop that, but it's just too perfect. It seems like they are refusing to take the air mattress because it seems unless they are refusing to take the air mattress, it becomes sort of a non-issue, and Mary doesn't need to decide. Is she a conservative? Men and women shouldn't sleep together until they're married type? It seems like she wants the married couples to have their own rooms. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. It really depends on what the parents' thing is. Bottom line, though, if this continues, I would just stay in a hotel. The whole thing seems more hassle than it's worth. This started as a question, but it's a lot got upvotes to not the arsehole. Don't put up with the bullshit. Stay in a hotel or don't go at all. Yeah, I kind of agree. If like it's really up to the parents, and if you don't like what the parents decide for their house as the sleeping arrangements, just just go somewhere else. Like stay in a hotel. To get an Airbnb. Like, just rent something out. I didn't have enough room, ran out of character to address this. What everyone has said in the family, not that I heard directly, they won't come again at all if they have to take a turn on the air mattress. That's speculation. They longer show up for Christmas at all after the year the brothers showed up. Okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. If you have to be there that badly and you don't like the sleeping arrangements, get different sleeping arrangements. You're a grown ass adult. Just do it. I don't see the problem really, except it might be financial problems. You may not be able to afford it. If you can't afford it, and it's important to you, but you can't afford it, you might have to say, "Hey, I can't come because I can't afford an Airbnb or a hotel room." And if they say, well, you can sleep in the parents' house, you can say, "Hey, I'm not happy with the sleeping arrangements as they stand, so I won't be doing that." What you've got to realize, or what I guess you don't have to, but what I think of it is that you don't have control over what other people are doing, right? You've got absolutely no control, and that's a really difficult lesson to learn. There is a tendency to go, they ought to do this or they ought to do that, so you like expect them to do that. So instead, all you can do is your own actions, your own boundaries, your own autonomy over these situations. You can't make people, even though you can sort of influence them by what you say. That can be manipulative if you are using their emotions to manipulate them. And but at the end of the day, you don't have any control over that. So all you can sort of say is, hey, well, if I have to sleep on the air mattress every single year, then I am not happy with the sleeping arrangements. And if I'm not happy with the sleeping arrangements, then I'll have other arrangements made. If I can't have other arrangements made, then I won't be going. And you can stick by that boundary. Really, at the end of the day, you don't really have to explain your decisions and actions to other people. It can certainly help. It can certainly help explain them, but you don't have to. You're under no obligation. So sort of saying, hey, I'm not happy with the sleeping arrangements there, without saying, well, you have to give us a turn on in a room. You have to do that. That sort of leads to a lot of contention, because they will say, well, you're making me do this, right? So a lot better way that I think to go about it is to sort of say, well, I'm not happy with the sleeping arrangements, so I'm not going to be staying there, because I have gotten sick of sleeping on the air mattress. You don't have to put me up in a room, but I don't have to be in that situation either. Realizing your level of control over the situation, and they can say, oh, but you're going to miss Thanksgiving. Well, I can't be sleeping on the air mattress every single year unless a rotation is put forward. And if I can't afford another place to stay, then unfortunately I'm going to have to miss it. Sticking by those boundaries as well. Yeah, absolutely, Jake. You don't have to justify your boundaries. That's okay. But I think that being upset for people violating your boundaries when you haven't made it clear what they are is a bit of a problem too. I get you, Jake. Not the ass I want, honestly. I'd just leave it was me. Every time you guys dance their dance, they think it's okay. Yeah, that is true as well. If people do violate your boundaries and you don't do anything about it, they will do it again. And they may not even be aware that they're doing it. I'd just go home to my nice bed, get the dogs, order a half-baked pizza tomorrow, and cook it up on Thursday. They're being rude, and if this is their status quo for the foreseeable future, you want none of it. But they are family. I think that sort of these Redditors are sort of like, well, I don't have family, and I'd just spend it by myself. Okay, but some people do, and it is important to them. So, you know, I think that sort of they're overlooking how important family is. Look, sometimes you do have to have priorities. Is the family more important than this? It may be to them. It might not be. It all depends. It really does depend on what you want to prioritize in your life. I totally get that. Some people will put up with this for that reason. You know, I think that I understand how that would be annoying, but it's not about, you know, getting a room or not. It sounds like they're coming in last place in the family and they don't like that. And I understand that. I think this is more than just a room, to be honest with you. It is more than just a room. I think that they are actually upset that they're being deprioritized in the family. So maybe addressing that, you know, so how would you bring that up? You could sort of say, hey, we are put in a position where we are deprioritized in the family, and that makes us feel like we're not valued in this family. And without sort of accusing them of doing it intentionally, because it may not be their intention to. They may not see it that way. They may just have a natural pecking order that they've fallen into and not be aware of it. But again, one, avoid ultimatums. Like, definitely avoid ultimatums. So if you start going, well, give us this or else kind of thing, that's often a bad way to go about things. All I can sort of say is have boundaries to say, hey, we're not happy with this situation, and let them either address it and suggest something or suggest a compromise, and just have in the back of your mind how you'll resolve the situation if that need is not met, if that boundary is not met. So, but rather than trying to manipulate by leveraging your actions against them, simply take the actions. Like you don't need to use it to leverage against people, because using ultimatums is manipulative. It's trying to sort of thing. And we all do it upon occasion. We all say, hey, if you do this, I'm going to. And we all do it upon occasion. It's just, you know, it's not really a de-escalation tactic. It will escalate the situation, as I have found out many times. Let's see what the amazing people in the thing. Hey, Exo Music, good to see you. Hello, Kent Speak. Good to see you. I'm just going to go up, see some things. Best thing to do is just decline the next invitation. Yeah, well, as I said, Jake, you've got to have priorities, right? So how important is your family to you? Like, you know, will you be seeing them for Christmas? If you're seeing them for Christmas, it may be an easy skip, sure. It may not be if you only see them once a year and this is it. It may not be that easy, but I would kind of, if I actually felt that I was being really deprioritized in my family, I would certainly say so, and I might skip that invitation as well. Yeah, I would probably be with you. Sort of feeling like I am valued in a family is important to me. Is that more important than seeing my family? Sometimes, yes, but I haven't been put in the same situation they have. Oh, yeah. Soot, I hope Soot's well. Congratulations again, Deviant. I totally forgot about that. Awesome. Family politics, yikes. My experience since my mum's past has been tense, so Yeah, I hear Left-Handed Jedi. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, much love. Much love. Rent a room somewhere. Kent Speak says rent a room somewhere and play it. Like, look, we had enough of sleeping on some crappy Matellas. I don't know what that is. Matellas falling asleep during the celebration. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. You've got it right. You change your behavior, and when people ask why, you can say, "Hey, because we're not happy with this situation." Even better is bringing it up first without accusing them of causing it. Say, "Hey, we're not happy with this situation." And then if they ignore it, then take the action to remedy. And when they say, "Oh, why'd you take that whatever that remedy was?" You say, "Hey, we brought it up and it wasn't addressed, and we took action to alleviate it." That's all. But yeah, I agree. I voted everyone was wrong, but only because I wouldn't say the poster did nothing wrong. Situation could have been handled better, but at the same time, the frustration's understandable. Absolutely. And making sarcastic remarks is not like sort of, the sarcastic remarks, I really think it's just going to make it better. Oh, Andrew, there you are. Andrew Christopherson. Christopherson. Good to see you, my friend. Jake, my daughter and I are skipping family stuff this year because the parents are a-holes. Me and both my siblings won't attend family events. I'm really sorry to hear that, Jake, but I hope you're doing the best for your daughter, and I'm sure you are. Look, family is people that act like family. I've always said that if your family isn't going to act like family and act like adults, act like responsible people who love and care for you, then they may be family biologically, but they're not family sociologically. They're not actually family. Um, yeah. There's a lot of that going around. My kids are torn because they love grandma, but grandpa is a big Trumpster. That's yeah, and that makes it hard. That makes it hard. And I know your kids are very progressive, and and especially when we come into this respecting people's pronouns and things like that, it's hard to explain to the older generation why it's so important and why it makes people feel comfortable. Yeah, no one has to justify their boundaries. Absolutely, Jake. Absolutely. Or do you bring a shitload of cushions and pillows to make mattress comfortable? And they may ask why then you can discuss room and justice problems, plus whatever outcome you'll sleep better. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a point, Kent speaks. You could possibly bring your own mattress and push it. Look, make a pillow fort and then see what they say about it. I'm sorry, your authority is not recognized in Fort Kickass. Is it a haunted room? Not to my knowledge, but I think there's enough people in the house without ghosts as well. I'm sorry it's not more exciting for you, X Music. Jake says we don't have any frame of reference for the family dynamic. Maybe Nathan has been a dick in the past and his family is fed up. We don't know. It's a bias protecting from partner. Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally get it. We never have context with these. Really, you just have to take it as it's written, essentially. But they might not have. That's the thing, and it may just be they might be the youngest. I would have liked to know who's oldest and who's youngest, because especially traditional families, they have this sort of this way of like the older siblings got to sacrifice all the time, like they're the ones to sacrifice for their children, kind of thing, for the younger siblings. The middle child is largely ignored, and the youngest child is the golden child, showered, can never do anything wrong. And it's such a sort of archetype that comes along that it occurs again and again and again. So yeah, I'm not sure, Jake, and yeah, we can't really tell, of course. Ken speaks, even if you get the room, you'll be in there feeling like the people right beside in the hallway are not digging it. Yeah, but that's slightly better than you not digging it. And if you're told, hey, we're all going to take a turn, you may feel like you've done your time, kind of thing. You may feel like a thing. Majestic Beck, good to see you. And these people will definitely know why they are in that hallway. Yeah, but I don't understand why you just don't put your stuff in the room and claim the bed. Like, just claim it. Maybe that's the kind of family I was in. Like, if you claimed something that, so it's just, I mean, if I got there and it was first come, first serve between, I mean, admittedly, I've only got one brother, but it was first come, first serve, then I would just put my crap on the bed and go, yeah, it's mine now. And if he started to take it off, I'd be like, dude, what the? And then they look like the petty one. Healthy families are being nurtured as infant are actually psychological basis for morals we hold. Healthy families and being nurtured as an infant are actually the psychological basis for morals we hold. Yeah, I kind of, yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people are just using moral intuition. Of course, that's learned psychological behavior. Of course, that's behavioral. Absolutely, ex music. But I don't think we can't apply a more structured moral system looking at things that have happened and saying, hey, is there any way we can improve our thinking? I mean, cognitive behavioral therapy is it basically is that. It's saying, hey, is there a better way I can think? So that leads to a different emotive response. The whole point of cognitive behavioral therapy is changing how you think. So I don't, and how you ought to react, right? Like what your reaction should be into a situation, rather than your emotions clouding it and not getting the reaction, the action to a scenario that you want. So we can do that with cognitive behavioral therapy by changing the way that we think about things, and therefore changing the emotional reaction, and therefore changing the action that we take. So, I absolutely think that can be changed. It doesn't have to be the same in the thing as you were raised with. I believe that empathy has to do with our instinct to protect our offspring and responding to their pains, changing diapers, which comes from our infancy experiences of receiving that. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't. I mean, empathy is not morality. Empathy is mirror neurons in your brain. Your brain, you observe some sort of emotional reaction, and your mirror neurons fire the same one in you. Um, I don't think. I mean, instinctive, yeah, but I don't think that it's the instinct to protect offspring. I think it only tells you, or it gives you a really good understanding of what other people are feeling. I don't think it in any way causes you to take any actions. I don't think it does that. It's not a moral system. It doesn't tell you what to do about it. Like, for instance, you understand that another human is in pain. It doesn't tell you whether to rescue them or run away from them, or anything. It just you can understand how they feel. So I think empathy isn't a moral system in and of itself. Y'all on YouTube, my found family, I vote for Ember as the cool art. Absolutely. Absolutely. I vote that. You get my vote. Ems always gets my vote. I'm just pounding away this mocking. There's 50 people. Marco Rubio is a hobbit. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. Extra music. Do you mean the display of empathy received by parents, or quality of care, or both? Maybe even all these answers with a bunch of other criteria. And that's interesting. Actually, that is very, very interesting. I do know there is a test that psychologists do that babies are automatically geared towards smiling and facial reaction when they engage with a parent. It is an instinctual thing, and that if a parent doesn't show any emotion to the child, and they've done this with babies, I mean, we're talking babies here, the baby will get upset. And I mean, it sounds horrible, but the baby will actually get upset. So I think that, yeah, in a way, our sense of empathy can be developed, but Yeah, I don't know. Middle child? Yeah. So just basically ignored, Jake. I get you, mate. I'm the youngest, but I only had two, and my parents were really good about sort of, um, I think my father got along better with my brother, but I got along better with my mother. So, I think that we had a pretty equally distributed, childhood kind of thing. Um, My family is the opposite. The oldest gets things their way. No, fair. Like, just because that's an archetype, left-handed air, doesn't mean every family falls into it. Totally. Totally. No, I get you. It's not always like that. It's just one of those archetypes. Um, I think Nathan is the second oldest according to the order they mentioned. Uh, yeah, I mean, it says, yeah, I mean, it says, um, Alex, Jack, Nathan, and Luke. To me, I think if they do oldest to youngest, kind of maybe makes sense to me, but that means the person that talked to their parents is Luke, the youngest. So I don't know. Second oldest. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, second oldest. No, third oldest. What? So if we go Alex is the oldest, then Jack, who's married to Jill. I'll never get over that. I'd sleep in Fort Kickass any day of the week, not anywhere, any day. That's out of remember that anime Archer? It was good. It was good to start off with. It kind of got a bit old, but yeah. Oh, you're talking about being short is out of our control. No one has any merit for being tall either. Plus our low and yeah, okay. And the other thing is like because I'm not incredibly tall. I'm quite tall. I'm 6'3", just on 6'3". If I had more hair, I'd probably be slightly taller. I'm joking, but the amount of things I've hit my head on, like seriously, it's overrated. It really is overrated. And I don't like my wife sleeps on the couch. She can have naps on the couch. I can't nap on my couch. I am too damn long. It's not great. Like seriously, but just the amount of things I have struck my head on, I it's not worth. Trust me, it's not worth. I mean, there's advantages. You can reach to the higher shelves and things like that. But seriously, um, you know what's annoying? You know what drives me crazy? Like, okay, we'll be walking around. Of course, it's Australia. There's spider webs occasionally. There's spider webs everywhere occasionally, right? Don't think that's just because of Australia. But my wife will be walking in front of me, right? And this is not always. Sometimes I'm in front, but she'll be walking in front of me. She walks, and then I hit a spider web, and it's like, what the hell? Like seriously, and she has gone under it, and I've copped it straight in the face. It's not right. It's not right. Um, I mean, sometimes they're low, but I've got a more chance of getting a spider web in my face than the person in front of me. It's not cool. It's not cool. I wish I was ignored. I got the shit. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Jake. You didn't deserve that, mate. That's horrible. No, that's not cool. That is not cool. Yeah, I can understand why you avoid your family if that's what's happening to you. That's abuse, and there's no excuse for abusing children. No, no excuse. Uh, Mine to accept the responsibility and blame. I, the youngest, get all of that, all of the blame. Yeah, and that can happen. It definitely can happen. Um, I was the firstborn of a misandrist. Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear that. And somebody joined. Oh, Phantom. Good to see you, Phantom. Good to see you. Good to see you, mate. And hi, John. Good to see you. Taller people have joint problems. That is true. Your knees. 6'4" with hair, at least. At least. Stormtrooper. I don't know what that means. Okay. Yeah, it's a problem, and ducking under trees as well. I feel like the council that does the tree lopping for the trees in my area, he must be a short guy because seriously, they aren't you a little tall for a stormtrooper? That's not the quote. That is not the quote. That is not the quote. Okay, let's see how you voted. Poster did nothing wrong. Yeah, I think they did. I would probably vote for everyone's in the wrong. I would probably vote for that just because using sarcasm is not a way to resolve issues. Look, sarcasm has its place, absolutely. If you want to use sarcasm to point out something absurd, if you want to use sarcasm to sort of make light of things, I totally get it. But if you actually want to solve the issue, sarcasm ain't gonna help there. Oh, good for you, my friend. I definitely need to get back, John. I'm a terrible person who has neglected my gym work for ages. Dirty Disney princess. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Oh, it's all Thanksgiving. It's the Thanksgiving special. Woohoo! Hold it. I think I got a pumpkin. Oh, the pumpkin's probably for. Hold it. Let me see if I can find a. Um, it's all about. This is the Thanksgiving special. I don't know. I probably have a let's see. Is there something with a turkey in it maybe? Oh, that's good. All right, I like that. All right. Sorry, I'm just gonna get my backdrop changed to be Thanksgiving because why not? Why not? Why not? There we go. It does say Happy Thanksgiving. I'm not sure if that made it onto there, but what the hell? Hey, hey, we have a different backdrop for Thanksgiving. Okay, she can't invite her friends. Am I the asshole for telling my cousin she can't invite her friends over Thanksgiving? Isn't Thanksgiving supposed to be an inclusive thing? Isn't it supposed to be? Is it like Christmas where like I don't know. I mean, what's the problem with having friends? Is it supposed to be family only? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Like, isn't Thanksgiving supposed to be like being nice to people? I don't know. Oh, he means adamantium, like the Wolverine metal. It's actually adamantium. Unless you mean antimentium, is that like anti mental metal? I don't know. Okay, I have a medium-sized family nearby. Okay, so I'd really like to know what medium-sized means. Is that like the nuclear family, 2.5 kids, or is that like because I've seen Catholics especially say, "Oh, we've just got a medium-sized family," and they've literally got like five siblings, kind of thing. So, um, that is aluminium. Don't let the Americans hear you say aluminium. They will die on that aluminum hill. Okay, so is it aluminium or is it aluminum? Right. I think that the original discoverer of the element wanted to call it aluminium. Right. He was English and he wanted to call it aluminium. But aluminum fits way better with all the other naming conventions like chromium and cesium and all of the other naming conventions. So here's the rare case where I think the British are wrong, because aluminum fits way better with the naming conventions for metals, right? But it technically the creator sort of named it aluminium. Okay. Yeah, but as I said, a medium-sized family. I've heard Catholics go, I've got a medium-sized family. I have 5 siblings, like 6 kids, and it's like, that's medium? Blah? Yeah, titanium, exactly. Yeah. So I think, yeah, both are valid, yes. Well, it's more, pronunciations are weird. There are American and English pronunciations for stuff. I found out that in the Bible there's the letters to Philemon, and I found out there's 2 pronunciations. There's an American and an English pronunciation of it, and they're different. It's so strange. Okay, a few different aunts and uncles, cousins, etc. In most years in the past, one of my older cousins hosted Thanksgiving. She is kind of centrally located. Oh, well, a centrally located cousin. That's great. Iron Yeah. I gotcha. She is having this year. She is having a major bathroom remodel, and her place really isn't an option. Oh, that's understandable. She is normally very welcoming to her family and her co-workers and her friends. Okay. When I've asked if I could invite random friends over, she said she didn't feel comfortable with people that weren't part of her life. I didn't push back. Okay, well that's fair. That's fair. I no, you're cool. You're absolutely cool. Look, I love the tangents. No, I will die on that hill. Tangents are the best. I will absolutely die on that hill. Tangent away. Tangent more. Tangent more. Anyway. I didn't push back. This year I'm hosting at my mum's. Well, your mum's hosting. I'm not sure if you. Okay, maybe you're claiming the credit. My mum is okay for me taking over this year. Okay, is this a big thing? Like, who's hosting? Isn't it just like what? Like, your family's hosting. Wow. Okay. Hills are great. What is your favorite kind of hill? Now, there's a question. Uh, what's my favorite type of hill? I think I would have to say the grassy knoll. I don't know why, but the grassy knoll just sounds so cool. I don't know why. Just JFK reference thrown in there. My cousin called and asked what time she should be over, and said a few of her friends and co-workers wanted to know what to bring. I told her, but sorry, but they weren't in the guest list. She seemed annoyed and asked why not. I told her when she hosts, she is very unwelcome to people I would like to invite. She argued that it's different because I know them now through her. I just said, look, these are your friends. I don't make plans to see them. I only see them at your place. She said I was being an arsehole, but it sounded more like the B word. Am I the arsehole? Well, kinda, yeah. I think kinda. I mean, are you actually doing it because you don't know the people, or you're doing it because you are being punitive? You know, I don't know. I that's entirely up to you, I guess, but I can understand why you want to treat people the same as they've treated you. It's pretty weird though. Like, it sounds like you're just being very, very petty. What you could say is, look, it's okay if you keep them if they come, but if they do, I should be allowed to invite my own friends in the future to yours, right? Like, you can sort of talk to people and say, hey, instead of going, well, I'm not going to allow you because you can't allow me. you can say, hey, well, it's upset me in the past that I haven't been able to have my friend, or my friends not being able to come to Thanksgiving has been upsetting. Would you agree that if I allow your friends to come, you allow mine to come going forward? Might be a better way to address it rather than no, you can't because you've done this. Post it. In what is it? A sister? A cousin's friends. Okay. Yeah, I think sort of the way that she's done it is pretty non-quality. But yeah, I don't think she's being horrible. I think she just could have gone about it better. But I think that um, having a level playing field, like sort of having a, well, if my friends aren't invited to your thing, your friends aren't invited to mine, I don't see that as being a problem. I think that is a boundary you could set, that if my friends aren't welcome with you, why should I make your friends welcome to mine? It's yeah, it's really a case of, well, equality, and I don't have a problem with that. She could have gone about it better, but I don't think she's being an arsehole. I think she's being consistent with the treatment that she experiences. I don't have a problem. Not the arsehole. Hosts make the guest list. Honestly, it sounds like she considers this her holiday and you're hosting an extension of her hosting. That would explain why she told her regular guests to show up to your event. That is not your fault, and she should never invited them without your permission. Yeah, correct. Correct. Not the arsehole. If you're the host, you're the one preparing the main meal, so you have the most expenses and you have to clean after everyone. You are the host, you make the guest list. If the cousin want to invite one person, why not? But co-workers and friends, how many people does she want to bring? Maybe it's a little petty to react that way, and you should have had an open conversation with cousin about being authorized to invite a friend to her gatherings and let her invite a friend. Yeah, no, I kind of agree. But considering that she can invite as much people she wants to someone else's place, it's weird to me. Yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of agree. If you're invited to something, what would make you think that you can invite anybody that you want? Like, I don't understand that. People that, get invited to a party and go, oh, no, it's, you're fine to come. I would certainly be calling them and saying, hey, I've got 2 or 3 friends. Can they come? I don't know why I would just assume that I can sort of leverage someone's hospitality like that. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. My friends are asking what they can bring: a turkey, ham, stuffing, mashed potatoes. Oh, this is um, the traditional Thanksgiving thing. Okay. Uh, yeah. So she's saying, hey, yeah, not the arsehole. It's simple. She hosts. She controls the invite list. You host. You control the invite list. Guests do not unilaterally invite other guests. She's interacting between them. I kind of agree. Yeah. Invite her co-workers and friends to someone's house, let alone their Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, did she already invite them? Maybe I missed that. Maybe I didn't read it properly. Should be over and said a few of their friends and co-workers wanted to know what she brings. She already invited them. No, that's bad. That's really bad. Yeah, no, you aren't being the arsehole. Definitely, in my opinion, she is. Yeah, I kind of, yeah, okay. That's yeah. Um, that's not at all how Thanksgiving is in my family. Okay, Phantom. So your Thanksgiving experience varies around the US? I don't know. I've never been to anything Thanksgiving related in the slightest. It isn't a thing over here. It just isn't, I've got a funny feeling that if there was a Thanksgiving in Australia, it would involve a barbecue in some way. I just have that feeling that it would involve a barbecue. Is the querent still not allowed to invite the? What the hell is a current current queen? I don't know what you're trying to say. Is that a word? Is this a new word, or is this like spell check gone amok? A querent, a person who asks a question or makes inquiries, especially of an astrologer or fortune teller. A querent? Do you mean like the poster? I think you're the person making the query. Still not allowed. Yeah, they're still not allowed to invite their own friends, as far as I know. Querent. I love that word though. That's a great word. Thank you, Maya. I do like new words. I do like words. It's a get together. Wear what you want. Yeah. The person that hosts usually sets the menus and makes the bulk of the food. They offer up their living space for people to gather in. They also tell people what to bring. Okay, cool. All right, good stuff. I don't know. We're not really. I don't know. Maybe Australia just doesn't take it that formally, kind of thing. You just, you know, just sort it out, mate. Like, yeah, I don't know. For real, the whole host sets the rules. Yeah, okay. That sounds very formal. I used to refrain myself from saying "hey" in the past, but not anymore. Hey, I don't. Oh, okay. That's fine. When we have friends Thanksgiving, it's usually potluck, but the host makes the turkey. Yeah, I learned about potluck. Yeah, potluck is cool. It's just everyone brings whatever. It's kind of yeah. I don't know. It's cash. I like it. Really cash. Uh, Aunt Jerry's here. What are we going to do with Aunt Ember? That's a conundrum that's possibly worthy of future. Well, what? Why do we have to do anything with Aunt Jer? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? I can see the cousin's point of view too, especially if they're usually the host. Yes, I get that. I do get that the cousin has a point of view too. Yes, absolutely. But in this case, I think that they have settled into that host role and are transferring it to somewhere else. They're sort of they have a privilege that they are transferring to somewhere where they don't actually have it, unless previously discussed with the host. Yeah. The weirdest part to me, inviting co-workers to a family event without asking first is weird. Yeah, that is weird. That is 100% weird. Even asking your friends to a family event without asking is weird. Like if it was family, then yeah, of course, that's, your family. But it is weird, yes. That is weird. The host has to coordinate what people bring. Otherwise, you end up with all paper plates and cups or all mashed potatoes. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. So people bring things to Thanksgiving. It's not just one person cooking everything. Good stuffing comes out of the turkey. Yeah. Hello, Sterling. No, people have no manners. Look, people do have manners. Just, they may step on other people's expectations of manners that they're unaware of what they're doing, kind of thing. It could be that their friends and co-workers expect to be there for the Thanksgiving meal like they have in past years. Yeah, it sounds like it's sort of traditional in their mind. So I think sort of yeah, yeah. I think that sort of going about it in a way like, oh, well, you didn't let me bring my friends, I'm not going to let you bring yours, and sort of saying, hey, this is unfair, or I think this is unfair that none of my friends get to come. So in the future, can my friends come to your thing? Might be a better way to do it. Better way to do it. Oh, I'm so sorry you're sleeping. The giants upstairs. Oh, construction work. All of that is bad. Wait, construction work? What time is it there? 10 p.m.? Don't you guys have any sound noise pollution laws? Like in Australia? Okay, I'm just going to talk about Australia because this is all I know. I am just a boy with knowledge of Australia. That's all I have. Okay, so I'm just going to talk Australia. But in Australia, you're like they can't start before a certain time. It's like 7 o'clock, and if it goes past seven, they have to stop. Right, they will stop. Noise pollution laws in Australia are pretty serious. You know, you can't just make noise. Uh, Western Australian government. Um, yeah, Environmental Protection Act of 1986. Yeah. That's the act itself. Yeah, I'm not going to say that, but yeah, it's sort of Environmental Protection Act. Noise includes vibration of any frequency, whether transmitted through the air or any other physical medium. So, yeah, big laws around it. People get upset over here. That's terrible. Why would Australians celebrate an American genocide? Don't you have your own? Absolutely, we have our own genocides. In fact, Australia Day is one that I have decided not to celebrate. I had this argument with Beamsy at one point. He was saying, hey, people get angry about Australia Day. Australia Day is not the day that Australia formed, contrary to the belief of a lot of Australians. They think Australia formed on Australia Day. No, it didn't. Australia Day marks the landing of the first fleet, the very first sailing ships and colonizers from Britain. So I am absolutely not celebrating that. I think that's really insensitive and really callous, to be honest with you. You know, I don't like it. So I will not celebrate that. It seems like the cousin usually hosts that may have the tradition of having friends and co-workers included. May have expected it again. Yeah, that's true. But it's sort of when you're getting into tradition, like you can't just say, "Hey, it's traditional, so therefore we'll have it." You know, like it's not. People are like, "Well, it's tradition. So what? Things change all the time. It doesn't matter that it's tradition. You need a better reason than that." Where I am, we have Mardi Gras or something like that. Cool. No one cares anymore. It's just an excuse to meet up, and we can meet up anytime. No Mardi Gras needed. Yeah, absolutely. Ken speaks. And I get you, mate. Hats, is it? Yeah, I get you. You know, like we kind of use these occasions as a marker for sort of these relationships and these connections, but we don't need them. And I totally agree. Yes, the person making the query. Thank you, Maya. I got a new word and I love it. Querient. Uh, Thanksgiving can vary wildly. For example, stuffing recipes can be family specific, not just region specific. Italian families will have lasagna. Mexican families will have tamales. Oh, that sounds so delicious. Like, seriously. I want to go to Mexican Thanksgiving. I really do. We certainly do. It's called Australia Day or Invasion Day by many, yes. And it is not a celebration of the founding of Australia because that happened 1st of January. I think it was 1901. Am I 1801? I can't even remember. 1801? 1901. No, I was right the first time. 1901. So it's on a different day, and that's the first fleet. It's not what people think it is. Um, my family, everyone cooks and brings it, so it isn't a huge burden. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. I mean, usually when I go to Christmas and stuff, one person will be cooking, but I'll bring salad or something like that. I'll do something for it. Side dishes kind of thing. Uh, Thanksgiving is different for families in the US. Oh, okay. I did not know that. I thought it was mostly a consistent thing across the country. I had no idea. Is there anything? I mean, grits baked with Tabasco and cheese. Okay. Is like the turkey pretty ubiquitous or pretty widespread, or is that like some people don't do that kind of thing? If you have 4 friends in town, just don't go to Thanksgiving and do something with the 4 friends instead. You don't bring Thanksgiving unless it's my family, then bring 5 or more. Okay. We go to war over toilets here. Tradition, etiquette calls for nukes. Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's so silly. Some families very formal in their celebration. Some are very casual and welcome whoever, even if they weren't expected. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know. I thought it was kind of pretty the same, but it sounds like depending on where you are and your cultural background, Thanksgiving can vary very wildly, I suppose. Did not know that. Nice to be able to put a name with a genocide. Thanks. Well, happy belated whack an Indigenous person day to you. Yeah, that is no, May, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's it just feels really insensitive to celebrate colonialism of a country. Like it sounds wrong. Eric Wanda, thank you so much, Eric. And for 9 months. We've got a YouTube baby, Margaret. A YouTube baby. Okay. Okay. Uh, um my aunt used to bring whoever she was dating that month. Well, that's no problem. I mean, that's a significant other. If the significant other changes, that's okay too. Hey, if it's good enough for the young kids, the 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds to bring a different girlfriend or boyfriend every bloody year, then it's fine for your aunt. Look, I'm on board. Yeah, I've always brought a friend or boyfriend. Yeah, I think your significant other is a bit different. I think that whoever you're partnered with is a bit different. Asked, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Um, Sometimes people bring food. We have ravioli at our house every year. That's nice. Ravioli's good. I like ravioli. I really do. Mushroom ravioli, really good. My sisters used to drag home strays all the time too. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Multiple neighborhoods around me have noise ordinances for that reason. Really, our noise stuff is done statewide. Like it's done literally statewide. So yeah. When I was 15, Aunt Joe, when I was 15, I cooked the entire Thanksgiving dinner by myself for about 15 to 20 people. Wow. I would love to taste your cooking sometime. If you're doing that at 15, I can only imagine how good it is now. Vibration of any frequency. What about snoring? Included. Yes. Any vibrational sound. Yes. Yes. If it is that loud, like, yes. Yes. If there was a Thanksgiving in Australia, the emus bring their own colonialist barbecue. Oh, that's just rude. That's just rude. I hope a Danish person comes to your Thanksgiving, Deviant. I really do. Yeah, and that's a Midnight Oil song. Absolutely. I think it was Beds Are Burning. Was that Beds Are Burning? I think it was Beds Are Burning. Ex families, Creole, turkey, and gumbo. Okay. That's like French origin, isn't it? French sort of American, like Louisiana French. 1901 was Federation. Thank you. Yeah, so Federation of Australia was when the states merged into one country, so that they were basically colonies of Britain before that. Invasion date. Well, the Australia Day is marking the day where colonialization of the country started. It's Turkey Day in Canada, but some families cook up different dishes. Okay. Turkey is ubiquitous. There are people who do ham. I know someone did prime rib. No, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of turkey. I've had it before. It just seems a bit meh. Like there's other stuff I would want instead before turkey. It doesn't, I mean, it's not bad. It just, yeah. 1867, younger than Canada. Yeah. You don't eat turkey either, and it's not John's favorite. Yeah. It seems like we're just eating this stuff because of tradition. It seems a little bit weird. Oh, someone do science experiments? Science. There isn't a traditional Thanksgiving dish I will eat. No, you take that back. Sweet potato is so good. Like roast sweet potato, you take that back. Phantom, I'm gonna throw shade at you. Roast sweet potato is so nice when you get that caramelized stuff on the outside. It is so good. So good. Maybe we have different sweet potatoes, but they are the bomb. And roast potatoes are good. Like they're really good. Sweet potatoes are the worst. How dare you? Where's my band hammer? I used to love ham. Took pork out of your diet, depending on whose house you may just eat sides for dinner. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Roast duck is way better than turkey. Yeah. Peking duck from like the way the Chinese cook it is amazing. I don't know. Maybe we have different sweet potato than you, because sweet potato over here, when you roast it, it is freaking amazing. Thanks, Eric. You got my back, buddy. Thank you. Anyway, let's see what the poll said. And the poll says, Post did nothing wrong. Yeah, I agree. I kind of agree. I think it is up to her. Sweet potatoes are the worst. Are you high? Are you high, Phantom? Are we talking about two different things? Are we talking about the same things? Hang on. Oh, yeah. No, I'm right with Eric here. Like by potato chips, I presume you mean like wedges kind of thing? Yeah. No, candied? Candied? You don't put sugar on them. What are you talking about? Uh, what are you people doing to your sweet potatoes over there? Are we talking? Look. Are we talking about like sweet potatoes? Like sweet potatoes? No, you just put them in the oven. You roast them. You roast them or baked, I guess, in the oven. What? I don't understand. What? Marshmallows? What? No. No, you just roast them. Like what are you people doing over there? No, you just put them in the oven. You like just chop them into squares and put them in the oven. That's all you got to do. And they're amazing. I don't know what you people are doing. You people are insane. Look, roasted sweet potatoes. There we go. Like that, right? Roasted. You just cut them into cubes, shove them in the oven at about 180 Celsius. What's that in Fahrenheit? About 180 in a fan forced. Yeah, 360, 356. Okay, 356 in the oven. You just cook the crap out of them. You put salt, you put a bit of pepper, you put a bit of parsley, and then you shove them in your face. That's what you do with sweet potatoes. What are you doing over there that you're putting marshmallows and sugar on these things? Are you high? I They don't need it. They don't need it. You just throw them in the oven and cook the crap out of them. That's all you do. Like you just put some either some oil down, like some spray olive oil, maybe some olive oil spray, or you can use baking paper. I'm not averse to it. Not averse to it. But what the hell? Like you just put them in, cook the crap out of them, season them with a bit of, salt, pepper, parsley. That's about it. Get some sour cream or some, what do you guys call it? Sour cream with them. Bit of garlic aioli if you're feeling really special, and then eat them. Like, what's this brown sugar marshmallows? What the hell? What the hell? Oh no, honeyed carrot's good. Honeyed carrot's definitely good, but that's not a sweet potato, man. You don't do that to a sweet potato. It's just rude. That's presuming on a friendship. Quite frankly, I think like seriously, you've got to stop putting sour cream on sweet potatoes. No, you dip them in it. You dip them. It's a dip. It's a dip. Phantom, I'm worried about you. I'm really worried about you. Seriously. Seriously. Oh, Apostate Sisters here. Oh, so good to see you. Didn't see you earlier. Look, Apostate Sisters have been doing some amazing content over there. I think you should have them on, Maya. And I think you should also have on a certain Australian that's also very, very popular and very, very handsome as well. Where would you find one of those? Okay. Next up, accomplished date 248. Well, I do like an accomplished date. Am I the arsehole for telling my parents they aren't really my parents? Are they your biological parents? That sounds like a tantrum to me. You're not my real dad. Is that a tantrum? That sounds horrible. Like whoever raised you is your parents, regardless of their biological or not. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe they didn't raise them, and that's the problem. Um, I think sort of it depends how you did it. Hugh Jackman, how dare you? Yeah, no, everybody loves Hugh Jackman. Like everybody loves Hugh Jackman. He is such a great guy. I I saw that interview where he was talking to somebody and he realized he knew his gym teacher from ages ago. Such a good guy, like seriously. Um, so my 20 male parents weren't really present. So he's 20, his parents weren't really present, unfortunately. My grandparents stayed with us and took care of me until I started daycare. Did I actually finish off that poll? I did. Yes. Good, 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 good. Took care of me until I started daycare, but after a few incidents where the teacher was targeting me for no reason, they withdrew me. Okay, the teacher was targeting you at daycare. My parents said daycare seems too expensive. I was better off at home and refused to pay. My grandparents continued raising me. Then I started school. They came over every morning and afternoon, basically whenever I was home. At that point, it felt like they should move in with us. My parents didn't want them to. Since they'd have to pay for two more people living with us, and they also didn't want them nagging all the time. Okay, so your grandparents were basically raising them. Look, I mean, I remember my parents were very absent. They were working all the time. I get that. But that's, they're still my parents. I don't think that warrants saying, hey, you're not my parents. They did the best they could. And here's the thing, no parent is going to be perfect. In fact, having a perfect parent that gives a child everything that they ever want is bad for a child. Like the whole thing about parenting is that a good parent is good enough. Now this may be neglect. I'm not 100% sure, but um, you know, I don't know the circumstances surrounding that, but sort of telling your parents that they're not your parents is a pretty heavy blow, which may be warranted, but they would have to do something pretty egregious for me to think that that is warranted. It is um, a sort of an absolutely it is a shocking thing to hear as a parent, and it may be warranted. I'm not saying it isn't. Well, I spoke to her. I remember asking my grandma why I never see my parents, and she tried to change that topic. Well, I spoke to her recently, and after a lot of pressing and convincing, she admitted that my parents didn't want me or my brother upon their admission not long after we were born. And to top it off, as it turns out, my parents just stayed at work late every day so they wouldn't have to deal with me and my twin in general. Okay, that's an awful thing to hear. They recently posted a picture of us saying that spending time with family is the best gift they've ever received. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. You don't get to see your parents and then they're using you for Instagram clout. Wow, that's awful. I never paid much attention, but it turns out they've been posting mine and my brother's pictures for occasions like Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, etc. I spent the weekend making cute stuff out of wood with my grandparents, so I posted a few pics of those and added the caption saying it was great to finally have a free weekend to spend with my parents. They called up asking me what I meant by the post, and I told them exactly what I typed out. I see my grandparents as my real parents. They're the ones who have been there for me. My grandma made our lunch and got us ready every day. My grandpa dropped us everywhere, school competitions, name it. They were the ones who listened to all my problems, gave me advice, consoled me, fought for me. They guided us through life, not my parents. They guided us through life, not my parents who gave birth to me and left it at that. My mother started crying, and my father said it's unfair of me to punish them for making their career a priority and taking breaks, since balancing career and parenting is stressful. I told them they didn't balance anything. They just pawned us off to our grandparents. They're now blowing our phones up and demanding apologies. So am I the asshole? No, I don't think so. I think that they have expressed exactly what they feel. I don't know the situation, but it sounds like they weren't there for you at all, which means that you think your parents are your grandparents. They're the ones that raised you. You gave birth to me. Yeah, I don't. It's unfair of me to punish them for making their career a priority. No, I don't think it is. And I don't think they're being punished. You've just told them what you feel, what you think. I I uh I I really don't have a problem with that. Like I said, you know, um, you're like, I don't think this person is punishing them, as it were. I think that they just feel like their grandparents deserve that title, kind of thing. I don't, I you know, I don't think it was punishment, right? For um, real parents. Like, I can appreciate their being honest with how they feel, and I don't think, if you honestly feel something, I don't think you should be convinced that you're feeling that way to punish anybody. I think that you should be able to say, "Hey, that is the way I feel." And, it's not there to punish you, it's just that is the fact of the matter. I think that that's fine. I don't think they're being an asshole at all. Let's see what Reddit's got to say. They're usually pretty, on board. Unpopular opinion, sometimes the family you choose is more important than the family you're born into. Your parents chose you every single day. That's real love. Yeah, that's not an unpopular opinion. Yeah, it's sometimes unpopular among traditional families. It actually is. Your parents reap the seed they sow. It's ridiculous for them to think otherwise. Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I mean, they could have been working in order. Like, I don't blame my parents for being absent. So a lot of the time, we kind of go, well, I would rather my parents have been around more and sort of not been at work all the time. But I understand that they were working to try and provide a better life for their children. Like, I understand this. I don't have this, well, you're bad people for doing this. At the same time, we have to acknowledge that, feelings of abandonment or isolation, or, that you're, because when you sort of say, hey, this is something that I would have preferred as a child, parents can take it as a slight against them. And I don't think it should be that way. I think you can understand that they want to develop careers or, provide for their family. Whereas I think that sort of saying, hey, I would have preferred this, it's okay to say that. And it doesn't mean that your parents were bad people. It really doesn't. And I don't think, I mean, part of it is sort of suggesting that they're bad people, because they sort of said they didn't want you. But it sort of does sound like that, that sort of, if they're never around and they post pictures for occasions, I don't know. Maybe they're trying as hard as they could. I don't know. Not the arsehole, you spoke the truth. Not the arsehole sounds like you just handed them a reality check, not a punishment. Yeah, I don't think it sounded like a punishment. I really don't think so. I think that's just how they feel. And like I said, all feelings are valid, right? All feelings are valid. The reasons why you're feeling that, the actual thoughts behind it, like that thought, if your grandparents weren't right, just say your grandparents were wrong, that your parents didn't want you. They just assumed that, and they were focused on their career. So if that is wrong, that doesn't mean that the feeling's wrong. The feeling is valid. The reasons behind it may not be valid. It may not be. But that doesn't mean the feeling's invalid. And if they have feelings of abandonment, that's important. It's important to talk about that with the parents. So I think in this, a lot of parents will hear that something isn't right in their kids' lives and they will take it personally. And I don't think it, I think it ought to be a conversation about, hey, there was a trade-off between, say, providing you more attention or working really hard to get a better house, or, make yourself more financially stable. And that's what they've chosen. That is the problem a lot of the time, that it is, as always in life, trade-offs versus benefits and detriments. But that doesn't mean you can't articulate your feelings. Nothing can change the way you're treated when you call them out. Who raised you? Your parents. I always joked I had 3 mothers and no sisters. Well, that's parentification of children, isn't it? Mum was a single mum in my youth. She worked evening nights to be with me. My sisters were 8 and 12 years older. Who raised my 3 mums? If shit happens and you're crying, who are you going to call? Grandma, right? That's the mum's job. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, what have you wonderful people got to say? Yeah, we've moved beyond the sweet potato, right? That's going to be put to rest. Look, Phantom, I'm not going to speak to you again. If just try roasting the potatoes and having some garlic aioli. Seriously, chop them into wedges. Chop them into wedges. Having a perfect Phantom, having a perfect parent that gives a child everything they want is not having a perfect parent. Absolutely, 100%, 100%. Jake says, my parents were dicks. I would never say they weren't my parents. I would just tell them they're dicks. Yeah, so even parents that bring you up badly are still your parents. I think their point is that the parents, the biological parents, their mother and father didn't bring them up. It was the grandparents. And I understand that sentimentality. I really do. Not the arsehole case closed. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Ken. I kind of do. Must be nice to have grandparents like that. I just had to put up with the two narcissists. Ah, that's horrible, Maya. Yeah, narcissism is wow. I mean, narcissists are so difficult to deal with. I don't know how you manage that. That's incredible. Um, I've seen very a lot of different ways to do it. Probably, I kind of like the grey rock sort of emotionally isolating narcissistic people. And again, I'm not a psychologist. I think Mai actually is a psychologist, so I'm probably not telling you anything new. But yeah, the grey rock is just it seems to work so well. Um, my grandparents lived far away, so I didn't know them out. Me either, Sterling. Me either. My grandparents were back in the eastern states of Australia. My parents actually moved over to Western Australia, and that's a long way away. That's like other end of the US, far away. I feel like this writer, my parents are no parents in the loving, nurturing sense, and my parents on my dad's side, I could always talk, and my grandparents on my dad's side, I could always talk to. Yeah, yeah, I hear you, Andrew. And sometimes there's a bigger connection between the grandparents. They seem to have a sort of a real connection with the grandsons and stuff. There's little difference between that and adoption. They weren't there emotionally or physically, just stating facts. And I agree. I don't think it was as punishment. I think it was just stating the facts. One deals with the bullshit, we all get it in one form or another. Yeah, absolutely true. Well, I mean, it depends though. And, I would never try and sort of equate traumas. I think that's really bad and sort of pointless. Um, but, you know, difficulties are, yeah, some are probably more difficult than others, I would say. Like growing up, there is other male figure I saw as more of a father figure than my dad ever was. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, there were certainly other people that I saw as more of a father figure than my dad because he was absent all the time, absolutely all the time. We're always missing relevant context hats. That's the thing. These posts are written from one person's point of view. And I've always made that clear. There's always going to be another side to the story. Always. Maybe the parents are incredibly in debt. Maybe they hate being poor. There's so much other stuff going on, and there always is. We kind of take it at face value, but be aware that there is another side to the story. It depends on the culture. I'm Asian. In some Asian cultures, the grandparents basically raise their grandchildren, and like the parents work, pay the bills. 100% true, Sterling. That's 100% true. Actually, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And sort of they, however, he said that the parents weren't allowed to live with them, kind of thing. Usually in those cultures, the family all lives together. The grandparents' generation, the parents and the children all live together. So it becomes sort of a communal raising of the children. So you're 100% right, but usually the circumstances is different. Deviant says not the asshole at all. The parents sound immature, bordering on childish and self-absorbed. They said outright they chose their career. They don't get to choose the feelings of their children too. Thanks for the shout out. Oh yeah, my pleasure. Absolutely. I do like your channel. I like what you're doing over there. It's an honest shout out. This is also why I want to promote people knowing what they want in life. Not everyone is meant to be a parent. Don't let anyone shame you into doing this to a child. Yeah, absolutely. And I chose long ago I wouldn't. For a number of reasons. Well, for a start, I had a difficult time growing up as autistic and ADHD. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Number two, there's sort of a genetic problem that I have that I don't want to pass on. And yeah, number three, I just don't really want to. I don't like children that much. I mean, that sounds awful, but I just, I like talking to adults. I like interacting with adults. Kids don't wow me. And that's not to say that I'm mean to children or anything like that. I'm just, it isn't something that appeals to me at all. It's like when a person comes out as gay and the parents think they failed as parents. Absolutely, Archer. Absolutely. Like, not everything's about you. Some people are just gay. 100%. Yeah. Or, the child has depression or something, and they're like, oh, what have we done wrong? And it's like, that's not about you. Stop making it about you and start focusing on what's wrong in the child's life, that they have depression. Like, this is the thing. It's so, you know, sometimes I feel like kids are given the pressure to be a perfect child because their parents are like, well, our child can't be a failure or a reject or any of these things. So they pressure the kid to pretend to be something they're not, to pretend to be doing okay. We all see those examples where you have the perfect child, the academic, the overachieving child who's really just being pressured by their parents because their parents, want to seem like they've raised this child. It's absolutely awful. Some Asian countries are common that both parents need to work. Stranger. Yeah, absolutely. No, you said that earlier, Sterling. I do. Yeah, no, it's a good point. Should have said we lack relevant context. No, I get you. I get you. We always do. Not mine. They blame me. For example, when I was jumped and stabbed, that was my fault somehow. I don't. What? 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 Oh, look. No, apostates. Like, seriously. Paddy, being able to hand a child back to somebody is fine with me. Yeah. I'm fine with being an uncle. I'm fine being an uncle. Link on an Aussie recipe for sweet potatoes. Oh God, I don't know. Come on now. You're killing me, Jake. You're killing. Wow. Whoa, Max. 50 readerships? Insane. Insane. Hang on. I'll find this recipe. Oh my. I think Max. This is Argentinian money. No, it's less than $1. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. Say hi before going to bed. Oh, Max, you are a champion. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say. That's incredible. Thank you so much, buddy. Wow. Okay, and 50. Oh, I'm getting lost in the sauce. I'm getting lost in the sweet potato sauce. I'm getting lost in the garlic aioli. Hold. I don't know if I can read this all out. Is this to just mess me up so I can't read all of these out? Yeah. Okay. Strap in. We have Heat Shield, Ping, Pete, Paul Senior, Drazilla, Mega Weapon, Daryl Frost, Dave Burfly, Necklace Cage, Josie Bell, Jake, Insert Clever Dapper, Inside Joke here, Nelson. Congratulations, Jake. All good, man. Uncle Charlie, say thank you to Max. Tenebra Sent, Sabracadabra, Vixie Kid, Jason Hyatt, S. Cook, Native Atheist, Max V, Mark Stoney, Colin Caster, Professor Phil Bell, Christopher Tablante, apologetically, Chrissy, Troy Martin, Chris Peacock, Darren Delaney, Jenna Miu, Brandon Smith, Kalasia, 789. I'm sorry, I mucked up the numbers. Sorry, Kalasia, if you're out there or watching afterwards or something. Peter Guns, Dave Cannibals, Cannabis. That's cannabis. Cannibals is something completely different. I must admit. The Shoof 888, Jeff C, Binge Thinker, Booba Sweat, Atheist Junior, Rob the Gun, Gunson, Counter Apologetics, Nara the Atheist, Stephen Merriman, Deep Arcs, Volpix, Half Fox, Half Pokemon. Okay. Sandlot, right? I can do this. The Raging Tomato, Icarus, Maya Atkinson, Ant Horner, Kiss My Duck, Michael Bell, Blaster, Master 80, Spooky Chicken, Evil Toe, Per Aspera, Ad Astra. Where'd I get up to? Where'd I get up to? Oh, God, I've lost my position. I've lost my spot. Oh, no. This is, hang on. I know it was Per Aspera. Aspera. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that was only the first lot. Oh, God damn it. Okay, Max, you're killing me, man. You're killing me, and I love it. Rivers, Dilacolion Kennedy, Mark Lee, BTF Wayne, Andrew Cumming. Well, you bet he is now. Aussie Gold, Art M, Tilting Windmills, Squid Super Hunk, Optimus Rhyme 69. Hello, Robin. Chungle Down Bim. Chungle Down Bim. Jay Pasick. B.S. Lewis. Pistina the First. Brady. Martino Berto. Stacy C. Jason T. Atom Bogdanov. John Foppiano. There you go, John. Andrew Christopherson. And hit Andrew, Alex Martell, You Are Victoria, Tiny Pink Penguin, Simos Funk, Pragmatic Crystal. Oh, she deserves it. Big shout out to Pragmatic Crystal. Longbow 73, Katina Pack Bayers, Carol Kinzer, Ned Flanders, Stephen S. Hawley, Toas, Mikhail Damaskinos, Aragon 66, Kitty Strafe, Nana Blooms, Billy Bongs a lot. I can't read that because it's in Hebrew. Speedy Romans, Carrie Ann Chrysler, Canadian Ollyman, Vesta Freya, Soot, Kettle. There you go, Deviant. It hit Soot. Awesome. Richard, Alan Mayfield, Xander, BSD Box, Skirmish. That is all. Wow, Max, you made me do that. Wow, I got through it. There you go. Bet you didn't think I could make it through, did you, buddy? Maximiliano Visha, everybody. What a champ. Thank you so much, Max. I really appreciate it. And I was going to translate. How much is that in? It's about $1. I'm joking. No, thank you so much, Max. I think it's about, yeah, it's about $1.2, which is just fine. That's awesome. I love it. It looks like so much. I'm just going to believe it so much. Absolutely. Absolutely. But thank you so much, Max. You are an absolute champ. I'm probably going to have to rest my voice after this. Did I give the recipe for sweet potatoes? I totally forgot. Look, there's a whole website devoted to them in Australia. So there you go. There you go. Did I actually do that? I did. So now everybody's a member. There's no excuses for not using those tangent emojis and the band hammer emojis. Go to it. Do it. Hey, let's get some Bigfoot Jesuses for Max in the chat. Like, seriously. Bigfoot Jesus for Max. Oh, you and me both. You and me both, mate. I thought I'd lose my voice too. You and me both. You and me both. Okay. Where was I up to? Sweet potato recipe. Yep. Holy shit, Max. Yep. Okay. It's like I was bringing them problems by being victim of something, so I stopped trusting them best interest at heart and felt guilty all the time. Yeah, that sucks. Blame the system that forced your mum to be away at work all the time to be able to pay the bills, not for your mother for stepping up and working to pay the bills. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's really, really sensible, Nash. Like they tried. And big shout out to Max again. Transatlantic high five. Transatlantic? You've got another ocean there, mate. It's called the Indian Ocean. Transatlantic doesn't reach to me. I'm not next to the Atlantic. Atlantic's north, my friend. Atlantic's north. I'm not sure if you're confused. I should have my map of the world on again. So like North and South Atlantic. The South Atlantic actually, by the time it hits Africa, it's then the Indian Ocean. So transatlantic / Indian, I suppose, would probably be it. Count your blessings. Some of us here have never met their grandparents and had to leave home at 15. Some of us, yeah, no, I saw my grandma twice before I left home. Like, I didn't really see them at all. I didn't really see them at all. Wait, did you do another lot? Oh my God, Max. Max, don't make yourself broke. No, don't. Oh my God. All right, Max. You, seriously, man, thank you so much, but wow. Okay. This is to pay me back, isn't it? This is to pay me back for something that I have done in a previous life. Okay, Maximiliano Bish. Okay. Hillary's emails. Chrysokion Brachius Tay, 4 rings. Joel Hadaway. Gonna go for it. Fred Jasny. David's 113113. Big Screen Bird. Mad Techie. Rexus, I think it says. Rexus? I don't know what that says. It's in a weird font. Weird name in weird font. Pixie Storms. Ducky, Mangus Mork, Sim Life, Sully, Mr. Sir, Russ Wren, Bond, Let's Farm, Matthew Utterslack, Charlie Owen, Zimara, Lauren's Wifey, Moo, that's a weird name. Ashton Richards, Human Girl. I love Human Girl. Human Girl's awesome. Guybers, Titan Uranus. Oh, that is amazing. I'm going to say that a second time. Titan Uranus. Riddick P. Spielkald von Sparta. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Max. That is so generous. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really do. My throat doesn't, but man, my heart, absolutely. Thank you, buddy. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it, mate. I really do. Okay. And Max, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And we want Bigfoot Jesus in the chat for Max. Yeah, no, don't send yourself broke over me, man. Like, seriously, just lay off. Like, my voice can't take any more. It's all worth it. It's all worth it. It's all worth it. Look, some people do gift subs, some people do sweet potato recipes. It's all good. Honestly, it's all good. I don't know where I was up to. Yeah, I've gone through that. That needs a nuclear family, not as common now. Yeah, that's okay. I think nuclear families are kind of overrated, to be honest with you. I mean, nuclear families are a relatively new development. It used to be that it takes a village, basically, is one thing that I do like, because it does take a lot of people raising people. You're 43 and my father has never said I loved you to me ever. I tell my daughter loved it. That's beautiful, Jake. That is gorgeous, man. And I hope that if you had a son, you'd tell him you love him as well. I wasn't told that by my father either. He was very sort of I guess kind of in a way he'd say, um, my mother and I love both of you kids kind of thing. And it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. But, he was kind of, I called him emotionally absent kind of thing. It really was bad. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesomeness. Absolutely. I even hit Soot, and that's great. Um, Wait, my parents, not me. You try your best. Look, your best is all you can do. If you could be doing any better, you'd be doing it, right? So deep breath. Thanks so much, Max. It's Christmas in November. Well, it's Thanksgiving, apparently. I didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah, you got Art Chair. Look, I don't think there was anybody he didn't get, quite frankly. Just wait until he finds out. Look, I did it. I did it. I got through. I got it through. Phone's about to die. Okay, John, take care, man. Sorry, the super chat's kind of blocked you out, but yeah, take care, buddy. Help someone fortunate if you're able. Yeah, if you're able. Don't kill yourself. Look, there's a big difference between supporting people and rescuing them. So supporting people is helping them in their situation, and that's a good thing. Rescuing is when you help someone to the detriment of your own life, and that isn't cool. Like, you can't sacrifice yourself to help people, unfortunately. Because if, for instance, if I gave to every charity I wanted to give to, I would not have, I'd be out on the street because there are so many worthwhile charities out there. But I give to what I can, and then, I have to take care of myself. Didn't you just say you threw the potatoes in the oven? They better be sweet potatoes. Okay. Soot, Max, wow, you sniped my love. The inimitable, the world's greatest man and cuddliest cuddler. I think that's subjective, but right on, right on. You missed Sterling. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I would be surprised to see anybody didn't get one, to be honest with you. Although I do have 2,000 subs, so yeah. Yeah, the village disappearing and being non-existent. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Oh, thank you, Maya. That's so kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you got to go to bed? All right. Good night, Max. Take care, buddy. Thank you so much, but take care and have a good sleep. Okay. Next up. And how did the poll go? Wow, that's distracting, but in a good way, in absolutely a good way. Post did nothing wrong. Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to say that that's true. Nobody did anything wrong. He just said what he felt. Like, this is the thing, you can't be responsible for other people's feelings. People don't make people feel anything. They feel that way, and something you did may have caused them to feel that way, but that's, you can't take on the responsibility for somebody else's feelings. You just can't. It may be right or may be wrong what you did, but okay, next up. So usually I call it about 2 hours, but in honor of Max dropping an incredible amount of subs, I'm gonna go for longer. I'm gonna go for a bit longer because I think that is only fair. That someone's donated. I'm gonna keep on going. I probably should have set a goal. Why didn't I set a goal? I don't know. I tried out the goal thing. I'm not averse to it, but it's just another thing to remember, to be honest with you. Stunning squash. Is sweet potato a squash? I believe that is a tuber. I believe that is a tuber. Well, it might be that you need to turn on acceptance of them, Sterling. There's a button somewhere, I can't remember where it is. I can probably look it up for you, that you accept gift memberships or readerships or whatever they're calling it. You might not have that on. Accepting gift memberships in YouTube. Yeah, there's an allowed gifts in the chat. I think it's in the settings of the chat. Where is it? I'm just trying to find it now. Anyone know where it is? I'm sure there's something that you had to turn on. Oh, yeah, okay. So it's under the join button. So hang on a second. Let me just pull this up on YouTube. Just see if I can guide you through it, Sterling. Give me 1 second, mate. So it's the join button, and then there should be settings, apparently. Yeah, so the 3 dots up the top from membership, like you hit the 3 dots, and there's gift settings. Oh, you have it on. You've been gifted. Okay. Yeah, no, that's cool then. Sorry, Sterling. Yeah. Yep. All right. Cool. Yeah. Sorry, my IT support thing just kicked in, kind of thing. Oh, is that you, Ralph? You didn't get one either. Jeez. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I look. Just talk to Robin. She hits everybody she tries to hit. It's unnatural, quite frankly. Okay, Stunning Squash. Am I the asshole for refusing to talk to my in-laws about my infertility? What? Why is that any of their business whatsoever? My first thought is hell no. It's your in-law, like, so your partner's parents are like, hey, why aren't you spitting out the baby? What? What? Oh yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. Yeah, absolutely. Look, Deviant is such a lovely person. Absolutely deserves happiness. Enjoy it. Like, yeah, I hope all the best. All the best, really. One day I have to make this world-class cuddler at some point. Yeah, no, that's my thoughts. Hats, like, can speak. That's my thought. What is it their business? Are they doctors? What are we talking about here? My husband and I have been trying to conceive for over 2 years. Okay, that's a bit of a shame. That is a bit of a shame. Which comes with its only struggles. Yeah. Recently, my mother-in-law is making comments about just wanting a grandbaby already. Oh, as long as you're okay. Are you even really trying? You know what? I would probably be like, I gotta say, I would honestly turn around and go, look, we fuck all the time. Look, sorry, we have sex all the time, kind of thing. I would absolutely say that to them. These comments, that would be hilarious, wouldn't that? These comments are becoming more often than when we first started trying. I have asked her to stop with the hurtful comments. Yeah. My husband had asked her to stop, and she keeps making comments whenever we bring up the next step in the infertility journey. For example, we have an appointment on Friday to plan our IVF journey, and IVF is amazing. Yeah, it's an issue. Like, people can't seem to have children. She responded, "I think you guys just need to get drunk and boom, baby." Oh, wow. Okay. What, you think that they're not drunk enough to have a baby? What are you talking about? Am I the arsehole for not feeling comfortable talking about the infertility? No! She is still coming to Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving again. This is a Thanksgiving episode. Um, and I still talk to her when around. I just don't want to keep updating her on this journey when she makes me feel like crap. That's fair. That is fair. That is 100% fair. I don't know why it would be any of her damn business, quite frankly. I don't know. Like, seriously, if wow. I mean, she sounds like one of those people that will always blame the woman and go, "Oh, well, it must be that, the oven's not working." And it's like, well, what about the guy? Couldn't he be firing blanks? Like what I don't think she is at fault at all in this one for not discussing the baby factory with grandma. With grandma, yeah, like that obviously, um, conception will involve, coitus, and you don't really wanna discuss that with your grandma, like, ugh, ugh. Like, seriously, you just need to get drunk. I mean, this is the generation that had so little, like, sex education training that they thought you couldn't get pregnant standing up and stuff, like, seriously. Andrew, yeah, sure, all good, Andrew. You take care, man. All the best to your son as well. Have a good night. See, lovely guy, Andrew, reading to his son. Yeah, I hope it's wonderful. Hope it's wonderful. All understood, my friend. Okay, let's see what the Redditors have to say. Not the arsehole. First time I said this, I wish you had confidence to loudly stand up and tell them to stop asking about your sex life. You now have an opportunity to do that every single time they bring it up. Embarrass them. Anytime they bring it up. In law's names, why do you keep asking what we do in the bedroom? Why do you care about our sex life? How appropriate us about our sex life? My parent, who is deeply concerned what the adult children are doing. Yeah, okay. Just make it so fucking awkward for them to ever ask again. Yeah, that is one way to do it. Like, just say I'm not. But I don't know. I don't know. Answer her with graphically sexual details. Oh, we've been doing the reverse bat wing orgy cum bucket woo horse 6 times a day for the last 3 weeks. Banged one out on your sofa. Sorry about the smell. Is it crass? Absolutely, but her nosiness is more crass. You know what? I can't help but love this idea, to be honest with you. Oh, we've been doing the reverse bat wing orgy cum bucket woohoo 6 times a day for the last 3 weeks. Banged one out on your sofa. Sorry about the smell. What the hell? I just gonna upvote that. Like, seriously. I'm just gonna upvote that. That's kind of what I had in mind, like, if I was the guy, I'd be like, look, she couldn't walk the other day, that we've got no problems there. Oh dear. Not the arsehole, they'll try a deadpan expression with all these questions are only causing stress, and stress makes it more difficult to conceive. Yeah, that's the mature way to do it. I probably should be mature about it, but there's something so funny about that. I don't know why. I don't know why. There's something so funny about it. It really is hilarious. Yeah, we smash. We smash all the time, Granny. Wow. Are you even trying? Really trying? Oh, yeah. No, we're just thinking about it real hard. What the hell? Oh dear. That's terrible. That is terrible. That is absolutely awful. Okay. What should we got? What do we got from the crew? So glad you're here with me to see that. That's hilarious. American toxic masculinity. Yeah, I should do something on toxic masculinity. It really is a problem. It really is a problem. Um, okay. No fucking way. I had to have surgery to become a parent. Fertility issues deploys. Absolutely, Jake. Absolutely. Yeah, like your reproductive system is none of anybody else's business, quite frankly. Maybe your doctors, because literally it is their business, but that's all. That's why I said, that's nobody's business unless they're a doctor. Like that is literally your doctor's business. That's between a medical professional and the person. Oh, that's hilarious. You're not supposed to in the yeah. You mean a dildo doesn't get the pregnant? I never knew. Just make your own baby if you absolutely want one. What do you mean? Just make? I think they're trying. I'm not sure. Is that a joke? Have I missed that? I don't. Oh, the grandparents. Yeah, no, I think the grandparents aren't making any babies by themselves. To be honest with you, or the potential grandparents, I guess it is at this stage, don't owe you a baby. Absolutely, absolutely. That's sound advice. You'd be surprised at how conversation avoidant people become when they know saying. Absolutely. And it is hilarious as well. But, if you want to be mature, when you want to be a mature person, you can have a decent conversation. Honey, we've been doing it wrong. It kind of, it's kind of sad that like sex ed has fallen to the point of people don't understand how pregnancies work and they don't understand, sort of thing. I mean, you joke read, but you know, it's weird that the parents are thinking about their kids' intimacy to that intrusive as fuck. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. Not her child. Can't. Yeah. No, I get you. Maya says infertility takes such a physical and emotional toll on the person and the relationship. She doesn't need this added stress. Absolutely. That is not cool. That is not cool. Um, Jake says, no joke, I was treated like shit by the fertility clinic because male infertility isn't lucrative for them. It was hell for me. I'm sorry to hear that, Jake. That's not, that absolutely sucks. They shouldn't treat like you like crap. Like there's infertility is something that affects men and women. It shouldn't be treated like, oh well, why are you infertile? It's not like it was your choice. Like, come on now. Wow, that's awful. My parents paid for my brother and sister-in-law to have IVF. They now have a 10-year-old daughter from it, but it was their choice and private between the two of them. Yeah, absolutely. And sort of raising it, I don't really mind, but it's the fact that they've said, hey, we don't want to talk about this with you, and they won't drop it. That's the problem. Like, so Sterling, if you're sort of, if they say, hey, we want a baby, but we can't have one, or we're having trouble, and they offer, I understand that, but it's the, you know, stop with the comments and they just keep going is the problem. 7 years later, jokes on them. Majority parenting time. Okay, cool, Jake. I agree. Shame and embarrassment to realizing how intrusive and inappropriate their comments are. Ask them why they're so interested in your genitals. Yeah, maybe a way to do it. Maybe a way to do it. IVF can be extremely expensive. Maybe she can recruit mother-in-law to cough up the money if she wants a grandbaby so badly. Yeah, it is incredibly expensive. And I'm not sure which sort of what you had experience with your brother and sister-in-law. In Australia, I think they charge like per egg that is viable kind of thing. And then there's storage and stuff like that. It's incredibly expensive. And sometimes actually, like a large amount of time, like they're viable, but none of them actually produce, like none of them actually happen. So it's a problem. Um, yeah, don't ask those questions unless you can take the answers. Yeah, 100% in. I missed the start of this. Not really sure what's going on. Oh, people are saying if they're the asshole for um, refusing to discuss their fertility with their grandparents. That's really all you need to know. The last one was bad faith about the stepmother's character. I admit. Bad faith judgment on your part. Yeah, no, that's okay. I get you. Sometimes we do, like our previous experiences of people lead us to conclusions about people preemptively because, you know, if we see the triggers or the things that made us upset about another person, we can apply that to other people. And it's very difficult sometimes to say, hey, I'm not going to judge them because they look and sound like act like this other person I knew. It's very hard to hit that reset button, especially if sort of trauma is involved. Like I totally understand some women just dislike men instinctively because they've had trauma from men in their life. I kind of understand it. I don't, I think that they really need to get some help with it, but it does happen, and I kind of understand why. So posted nothing wrong for the 100%. I think that's like one of the few 100% we've ever had on here. I think my voice is giving out, so I'm just going to do one more. I'll do one more. This one's for Max as well. This one's for Max. Big salut, Max, if you're watching this at some point in the future. It's from Starry Days Girl. Am I the asshole for refusing to babysit my nephew because my sister refuses to pay me? It depends. It depends. So there's so much here to unpack. Like there is so much here to unpack. Is your sister doing things for you? Like, are they providing for you in some way? Are they sort of giving you lifts or in some way? Oh, my audio is crackly. Oh dear. Let me see. It should be okay now, I think. Yeah, it seemed like I was having connection issues for a second. It looks okay now. Might have just been a slight packet loss or something like that. I'll keep an eye on it, but thanks, Aunt Jer. I really appreciate it. I really do. Thank you. But I will keep an eye on it and maybe reboot StreamYard if it seems to go downhill. But oh wow, it was 10,000 per implant, and they need two courses. Yeah, and it can get that much. It can be incredibly expensive. So it depends on what the sister's been doing for her. I think if the sister's been doing things for her, I think that I mean it's always okay to refuse to take responsibility for another human being. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. But if she's doing things for you, you have to expect that maybe she won't do the things that you want her to do either. So it really is, I mean, I don't look at it as a quid pro quo kind of thing. I don't look at it as a give and take. But if, you always have the right to say, hey, I require monetary compensation for what I'm doing. I'm not going to do this for free. I think it's fine. And but if the sister's doing stuff for her, like helping her out with books or driving her places or doing things for her, it's okay to refuse, but you've got to understand that those things might come to an end. So, I kind of think, yeah, if it's just a one-way street, you're perfectly entitled to ask for that. If it's not, then maybe you're not, and still expect those things, her to do things for you. So I think there's a lot of nuance in here. And don't forget the nuance. There's a lot of nuance in these things. So Starry Days Girl, 22 female, full-time college student with two part-time jobs and full-time college. That is a big workload. That's a huge workload. Holy crap. Yeah, that's a workload, sure. depending on what she's doing in college, if she's doing like coding or something, she has literally zero free time. Like when I did coding in university, like coding occupied so much time. Like it is so time intensive. I've never experienced anything that has been that time intensive. Not just because you've got to sit down and write the code, but also you've got to like checking it, then it doesn't work. You've got to go back, try and figure out what's wrong. You fix something, then something else breaks. Like it's insane how much time it takes. And I know things like engineering can take a lot of time. That, you know, it depends what she's doing, but that's still a very full workload. My sister, 27, female, has a 3-year-old son and has been relying on me more and more to babysit him. At first, it was occasional and manageable, but now it's become a regular thing 2 to 3 times per week. Holy crap. Often during times I could be working or studying. Initially, I didn't mind helping out. I love my nephew and I understand how hard it is to be a single mum. But the constant babysitting is wearing me down. I'm already stretched thin trying to keep up with my classes, jobs, and basic self-care. Babysitting for free means losing income or study time, and I just can't keep doing it. I sat my sister down and told her I couldn't continue unless she paid me a reasonable hourly rate. I even offered to charge less than half of what a professional sitter would cost. She blew up at me. No, your sister's being really nice. She's actually being nice. That's not cool. She is not your secondary parent. She has no obligation to do that. She has her own life. She said family doesn't charge family. Like hell. No, that's not true. Like, what? You're 2 or 3 times a week is that's probably about 10 hours work per week. No, that's not cool. And accused me of putting a price tag on my love for my nephew. No. This is wrong. She's like, the sister is emotionally manipulating her. She said I should want to help because she's struggling and I'm in the best position to support her. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. Rescue versus support, right? So support is when you can help somebody and it doesn't detrimentally affect you to a great degree. You might go out of your way for somebody. It might be, inconvenient, but it's not a detriment to your life. That's support. Rescuing is when you're severely affecting your life in order to help somebody else. And that is not the way to go about doing things. You can't rescue people, because when you do, you will find yourself in a detrimental place. Resentment will build and you're gonna be very, very upset about it. Plus, she's going through college. She needs to focus on college. The part-time jobs are important because they allow her to get through college, but she should be focused on her education right now. It's not like she's out of college, has a really good job and can help you. She needs to focus on her education. She's in college. What are you doing that, like, why has it become, occasionally, and now it's 2 to 3 times a week? What is she doing that requires you to be there 2 to 3 times per week? When I explained that I'm struggling too, just in a different way, she dismissed it and told me I was being selfish. Yes, she is. She's struggling with time management. She doesn't have enough time to do full-time college, work 2 part-time jobs, and do a free part-time job for you. Wow. Her argument is that she can't afford daycare and has no one else to turn to. I feel for her, but at the same time, I'm not her long-term solution. I can't keep sacrificing my own financial and academic stability. Yeah, it does sound like you are being the adult here and your sister is being selfish. The situation came to a head last week when a sitter cancelled last minute. She called me at 7 a.m. to ask if I could step in. I told her I couldn't because I had an exam that morning, and she started crying, saying I was abandoning her when she needed me the most. That is emotional manipulation. She is manipulating her emotions. That is guilt being applied. That is guilt. That's not cool. You had an exam. It's not like you could call them up and say, hey, my sister needs a babysitter, so I can't go to the exam. College or university, the world doesn't work like that. She eventually found someone else, but has been cold towards me ever since. Yeah, so probably her first call was to you because you were doing it. She's also been telling my family members that I'm greedy and don't care about her struggles. Now my mum has gotten involved, saying I need to step up because family helps family. I tried explaining my side, but my mum thinks I'm being heartless and prioritizing money over family. What the hell? I'm torn. I love my nephew and want to help, but it's no longer occasional favors. It's become an expectation. I'm not okay with that. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, but the guilt trips from my family make me wonder if I'm in the wrong. Am I the asshole for refusing to babysit unless sister pays you? No. No, absolutely not. It is harsh. Like, why, if your mum wants somebody to help out, why doesn't she? Where's your mum in all of this? She's the grandma. Why isn't she helping out? Where's the rest of your family? Where's your dad in all of this? Why doesn't he do it? Are there any other sisters? I don't know why. I mean, it's not your fault that your sister is a single mother, and you're happy to help, but not to your own detriment, not to your own, ruining your own life or ruining your chances at college. That's you don't have to rescue people. You're happy to support them. I feel like this person has absolutely done nothing wrong, but that's just me. I'd love to know your opinion, so I will, of course, start a poll. All you pole dancers out there. Yeah, I don't, I 2 part-time jobs, holy crap, and full-time college. Yeah, that's a load. That's a load. That's a workload. And I get the idea that family doesn't charge family kind of thing. Like, you want to do free things for your family, but that, there's a limit to that. Like, you can't just, if your brother runs a bakery or something, you can't just keep going in there and taking whatever you want because family doesn't charge family. I mean, that seems unreasonable. And it is guilt trips. Like, she called it out, guilt trips. Yes, it is guilt trips, and that's not fair. You can't prey on somebody's emotions to get what you want out of this world. It's not right. Not the arsehole. Prioritize yourself first. Your sister brought this child into the world, not you. Yeah? And it's not your fault that she's single either. If your mum wants them, like, more help for her daughter, her other daughter, you do it. I mean, what's the mum doing? Is she retired? Is she still working? And if she's still working, can she not work for a little bit to help out her daughter? Like, why isn't other people in your family coming out? You are not obligated to watch your kid. Yeah, you never have to take responsibility for another person's child. Never. They took responsibility for that child, first and foremost. You never have to take responsibility for another person's child. Your sister and mum need to stop guilt tripping you. Your mum can watch the kids if she wants, but like you mentioned in your post, you can be working and making money. Your sister is trying to guilt trip you into being a free babysitter. Once every 2 to 3 weeks, I can see us helping, but 2 to 3 times per week means she needs to pay something. stand your ground, say no, or else you'll be a free babysitter for a while. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Not the arsehole. I have a feeling your sister never asked whether it's okay to step up babysitting from occasional 2 to 3 times a week. I'd circle back to her and say either you can pay me or we can limit to X free babysittings per month/year. But you have to remember every hour I babysit is an hour I can't work in another job. As for your mother, if family helps family for free, then she can babysit. If she has reasons she can't, why are hers more legitimate than yours? They're not. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I do. And she called me back at 7 a.m. to ask if I'd step in. I told her, stop answering her calls. Call her back later in the afternoon. But the guilt trips my family. Call out these assholes. Let them babysit. Now, mum thinks I'm being heartless and prioritizing money over family. Ask her why she does not give up her job and start babysitting. Is that she's heartless and does she prioritize money over family? Wow. Okay. Just call her mother an asshole. All right. Well, I mean, hello, Reddit. Nice to know. Nice to know you're still Reddit. So your family expect you to be a no-show for your exam, fail the course, and then to retake it at your own cost because family? Yeah, no, not the asshole. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like exams, and here's the thing, exams are stressful enough. Like exams are really stressful. They're incredibly stressful. Without having someone guilt tripping you about their child. Like seriously, insanely stressful. She has no one to turn to, but somehow there's people she's telling all about you, which I think means it's not so much she has no one to ask, more you're the easiest to push into doing more than you should. Yeah, I kind of think that her sister is the first stop. You have school, you have 2 jobs, you do not have the time or bandwidth to take care of a child on top of that. So it makes perfect sense that you don't have one. She is the parent. Childcare means spending time or money, and that is her responsibility. That doesn't make you a bad aunt, and that makes you an aunt. Yeah, I agree. Tell your mother you have done X hours of childcare and she can talk to you about stepping up after she has done the same amount of childcare for your nephew. Am I the only one who keeps wondering when people say family helps family when the last time they helped the person they're saying it to was? Are they missing work twice a week to help you? Is your sister? Is your mum? Why are they expecting so much from you and what are they giving in return? Yeah, and we don't like to do like quid pro quo, but when it's all just going one way, there's a problem there. You know, there's absolutely a problem there. If you're always doing stuff for people and they're doing, you know, when you get into trouble, they're just absent and can't help and just have no interest in helping you. There's a problem there because we all need help from others at some point. So I don't mind helping people with no expectation of getting something in return. I'm okay with that because I know that at some point I'll need help and people will help me. But when you're helping somebody all the time on a regular basis and they're, you know, not there for you when you need them, you really have to start saying, hey, this is a one-way street and that's not okay. What do you lovely people have to say? Is it a regular gig? I pay my brother to watch my daughter for an hour, then take her to school so I can leave to work on time. Yeah, it is a regular gig, apparently. Very regular. 2 to 3 times per week is a lot. Maya says, I paid my sister to watch my kids when I had work on Saturdays. My mum and brother would watch them without money, but they both rejected my offer. Okay. So you offered to pay them, but they'd rejected it, which is fair. I get you. I mean, if they're willing to do it, that's totally fine. And, you know, sometimes with the grandparents, it's more about seeing the kids than anything else, to be honest with you. It's a, you know, grandparent thing, I think. Jake says, my brother is a punk rock handyman, odd job type person, so I'm grateful to have him around and willingly pay him. Totally neutral. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's fair, you know. Aunt Jo says, I saw my mum trying to pay my aunt for watching us. The aunt was like, what are you doing? Stop. After some back and forth, my aunt finally relented and accepted the money. I think my mum needed to feel like she wasn't taking advantage of her sister's time. Yeah, I would probably feel the same way, Aunt Jo. I'd probably feel like, you know, if not money directly, then I would be, you know, if my brother, if I had kids and I was watching them for my brother if I had kids and my brother was watching them for me on a regular basis, I would feel like I would, you know, once a month take them to dinner, or just do something to show that it was meaningful for me. I've never paid family for babysitting, but it was once every 6 to 12 months. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about, Ralph. I totally get you, man. Like, that's sort of, I mean, sometimes they overlap, the family coming to spend time with your children overlaps with them taking care of them for a bit, and that's totally fine. That's not the situation we're talking about. Reed says OP sisters need to recognize that OP is feeling exploited and do something to fix the relationship. You lose more than a few bucks if you wreck a relationship. Future favors are priceless. Yeah, and I totally agree. I mean, sort of alienating her sister by not having an adult conversation, or at least giving her time to finish her college. She's not going to do anything for you. Like, once every 2 to 3 weeks babysitting is better for you than zero. You know what I mean? Like, that's, what are you doing? 2 to 3 times per week without any compensation is being taken advantage of. 100% agree, Sterling. 100% agree. That is being taken advantage of. Maya says, my mum didn't feel comfortable taking money to spend time with her grandchildren. My brothers had kids their age, so my kids kept his kids bitty, and there was less leftovers. Yeah, and that's sort of a different kind of situation. No, I get you. And situations will vary in different families. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. Maya is married to a woman and financially stable. My sister lived in the project, so even though our kids were around the same age, she needed the financial help. Yeah, no, totally understand. Totally understand. Mutual time plus time with cousins is great for all kids. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Maya says it's nice when family can help out, but it's not fair to take advantage like this. Yeah, absolutely. I never took money for watching my nieces and nephews, but I had clear boundaries about when I could do it. Absolutely. No, that's totally fair, Maya. And people are in different situations. I think that, if I was doing college and 2 part-time jobs, I would be really looking at that as a massive time sink where I could be doing other stuff like studying, depending on the course. Studying is really important. Deviant Outcast says that's just pure gross manipulation. The sister might not realize it, but she needs a reality check. The mum should butt out or support OP, or the mum could step up to the plate and volunteer. Yep, agreed. And the manipulation with, oh, you just like money, you're not, you're sacrificing me. No, that's really bad. That's really, really bad. If the mum is passionate, she should watch them. Absolutely, mate. I agree. Sabracadabra, just demand the kids participate in drag story time. Fixed. Hey, why not? Why not? Dance, pole dance. Dear, that was a pole dancer reference. If you're having to give up time at one of your part-time jobs, you need to be compensated. My mum asked people to watch us who didn't have a job they need to be at. Yeah, 100% Aunt Jer. I totally get it. Totally get it. Kent speaks, and why are you asking this on Reddit? What difference will it do if complete strangers think the sister is an asshole? Unless it's asking for personal curiosity, okay, but I suspect she is looking for a way to justify your own opinion, or trying to see how it is perceived by others to inform of how she'll make everything look to the rest of the entourage, family, whatever, which is typical of emotionally manipulative people. Okay, so a big reason why people go on here, Kent speaks, and what I've noticed a big reason is because sometimes when we put our foot down, or we say, hey, no, I'm not happy with that outcome, or that's not acceptable to me, the other person would say, no, you're just being selfish or horrible or whatever. There is a point when you start to believe that, and you're like, was I being selfish? Am I just doing it for money? It's very weird how the mind works, and how you can second guess yourself on your own motivations when being, well, let's put it bluntly, gaslit by somebody else. If they say, hey, you're just doing that for the money. We can be highly suggestible organisms. We can be suggested to. And if she's saying, hey, you're being heartless and horrible, and you're going, no, I'm not being heartless and horrible, sometimes you can think, am I actually being the arsehole here? I don't think that's necessarily the case. I don't think she may be sort of, it's just those doubts come up, like you have those doubts when you're like, no, that is unacceptable to me. And then later on, you're like, was I reasonable in doing that? I totally understand, because I've had that feeling as well. But I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. Maybe she is. It is impossible to say, really, isn't it? I mean, we don't know what she's thinking, but I really have had the feeling of, am I doing the wrong thing here? Before. So I guess I'm assuming it from my point of view, my perspective, because I've had that feeling before. Always charge double for family. Well, thanks, Sabricabro. I would hate to be your family. Cheers. So he's hustling supposed to flunk out of college to help. I don't know. Oh, so she's just supposed to flunk out of college to help the sister? I don't know. I mean, I think the sister doesn't understand how much work is involved in studying. Like, she might have in her head that, hey, it's just like going to high school. You just turn up, listen, and go. No, that is not what tertiary education is like. No. Like, when I was doing coding in university, I used to be in my room for entire days while my wife pushed food under the door for me, basically. Like, seriously, it is so time intensive. She literally asking her sister to sacrifice her education to be a free babysitter. That's nuts. Where's the dad or dad's family? Yeah, I guess single mum. I don't think the dad's in the picture, Maya. If he's not, why isn't he paying child support? But we don't really know, do we? He could have died, or he could have left and skipped out on her and they can't find him. I don't know. Should have kept your leg crossed every nan. Okay, that's really bad. That's really bad. Yeah, where's the father and family? Yeah, don't know. Welcome back, Andrew. But Mark, if you couldn't get what you want by manipulating others' feelings, there'd be no Republican Party or Fox News. Oh, what a horrible world that would be, right? No Fox News to manipulate people. There'd be no Trump in government if you couldn't manipulate people's feelings. Sabracadabra, her kids are worth more than his to grow in future. Well, it's both. It's female Sabracadabra, so she, mate. But yeah, no, I get you. It's just they're her kids. Yes, they're worth more, but you can't sacrifice your own life. The kids are going to survive, right? It's not like you go to college and the kids just die. Kent says, maybe the mum needs to change job for one that accommodate her needs. That is difficult sometimes, though, being a single mum and trying to find a job that can accommodate you. That is difficult. I certainly will say that. Exams are stressful as fudge. Deviant, that is not the right. Fudge is not stressful. I found fudge to be anti-stressful, so that is not correct. Uni, hard work and important. Yeah, I'd almost bet that once OP's finished, if it leads to a well-paid job, then the rest of the fam is supposed to benefit from their hard work. Possibly. Uni is hard work. Absolutely. I can absolutely vouch for that. Absolutely. Reed says, is it just me or is this a good argument for reinstating Roe v. Wade? It shouldn't be, but this is the hostile to families environment that family values people have created. Absolutely, Reed. And they're not doing anything to fix the problem of single mothers and things like that. They're just saying, hey, you shouldn't be single. You should have a good Christian family. And it's so unrealistic. It is so sort of head buried in the sand because those people didn't choose that. Wait, the sister was going to pay a stranger who flaked on her and then called the querent and got mad that she had to give her any money. No, she got mad she couldn't do it at all because she had an exam. That's the problem, which is even crazier because exams, you can't just say, well, I have to babysit. That's not how exams work. Nothing like nothing works like that. It's an exam. It's on that day. Unless you are sick and have like a doctor's certificate or some kind of official reason why you absolutely could not make it, you have no excuses. It's your exam. Like, Spillcap says, thanks for the readership. You got to thank Maximiliano Vishnu. I think it's Vishu. Is Margaret Atheist on Blue Sky? What the fuck is Blue Sky? Am I a boomer? What? I've never heard of Blue Sky. I've heard of it. It just no, I'm not on Blue Sky. It looks like a social media program. You're not going to drag me into a social media program. Is this like a Twitter facsimile, like Challenger? I mean, I'll think about it. I'm not a big fan of Twitter. Yeah, he absolutely did. Yeah. Thank Max. Maximiliano is a great person. Sometimes you just want justification that you're sane when you're clearly being gaslighted. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Maya, I 100% agree. And people that have been gaslit, especially, you would know with if you had two parents that were narcissists, that gaslight, like sometimes. So the thing about gaslighting, sometimes it is so absurd, right? Like you look back on it and you're like, yeah, that's absurd. But at a certain point, it seems reasonable. Like it actually seems reasonable. And then you go, why would I believe that? It can be really, really pernicious. It can be really sort of insipid the way that it can take a hold on you. And that's why gaslighting works. It preys on your emotions to instill a thought that usually you would not reasonably consider in a million years. But with those sort of emotions being manipulated, it seems reasonable. I totally get that. That's the reason I think I would do it, but I'd probably ask people around me directly. Look, she probably doesn't have time for friends, can't speak. She's got a full-time job, she's got a full-time college career, 2 part-time jobs, and babysitting. Like she doesn't have any friends. She is just locked in a room. You know how exams work. Yeah, you know. But it doesn't negate my point. She didn't want to pay her, but would have happily paid the stranger. Right. Okay. Yeah, no, good point, Maya. I didn't even consider that. Yeah. So she has money for the stranger to do it, but doesn't have money for her sister to do it. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah. Then has the audacity. Yeah. Not dragging you was just asking because everyone dumping X. Yeah, okay. No, I do you think it would help if would it help make X a thing of the past if I joined it? I don't know. Maybe I should give it a try. Look, I don't know. I have some social anxiety issues, which is weird because of what I do, but I really feel like if I'm not doing if I have to socially engage rather than do it for some specific reason, some specific outcome, I feel very weird around it. So I feel very discombobulated and just sort of very lost, and I don't know what I should say. So I generally don't like social media. I've tried Facebook, and I found that to be just too much. There's too much people talking. It's too much. There's people saying all kinds of things, and it's too much. Mark doesn't know. I don't know. I'm ignorant. I am ignorant of that, Archer, and I'm okay with that. I'm ignorant about social media, and I'm okay with that. Hey, fun fact: the Australian government is making it illegal to be on social media if you're under 16. Yeah, insane, right? But I can kind of understand why. People are sick of their kids being exposed to this toxic neo-Nazi bullcrap that we're seeing every day. Also an argument for a national daycare plan? Absolutely. I think that daycare is really important, you know, to have that daycare without the hate or Elon. Yeah, no, that's fair. Stop. We can't have nice things. We chose letting family babysit over getting extra money in our paychecks because of the price of eggs. Yeah, Maya, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, that's okay, mate. It's all right. It's fine. Totally cool. True. I mean, the child is already here, so abortion is kind of irrelevant at this point, but I understand your point. Yeah. We need to do better for the children who do exist. Yeah. It might maybe mark the secret source to Slay's Twitter. Oh, look, I you know, I think they're both on a level, Rembrandt. I think they're both as bad as one another, and it's good to see you. Anyway, how'd the poll go? How'd our poll dance go? Posted nothing wrong. Yeah, I'm kind of inclined that way myself. I am inclined that way myself. Well, I think that'll about do it. That was the last one. I'll think about Blue Sky. All right, I'll think about it hard. Yeah, it sounds like so many people talking. I have a problem with over-analysis. So when so many people say things, I have a mind flood problem. And it's my problem. I don't blame anybody. It definitely is me. You know, I absolutely don't think it's a problem with the social media, or a problem with the platform, or a problem with the people. I think it's a me problem, and that's okay. And that's okay. But if I do, I'll definitely make an announcement about it. But I'll have a think about it. Don't forget to roast your sweet potatoes. None of this cinnamon and crap. Come on now, behave. But I want to thank everybody so much. This has been a lot of fun. I can feel my voice giving out, but I want to give a big shout out to Maximiliano, who really did make my voice crack with the sheer amount of readerships that came through. So thank you so much, Max. I want to give a big Bigfoot Jesus out to you, mate. You are the Bigfoot Jesus of this particular chat. And yeah, as always, it was really good to see you. I'm going to go say nothing for about 3 hours at least. And yeah, then I'm probably gonna yeah, I can probably do some work. I was gonna record something, but I'll probably do some editing or something instead, I think. But thank you so much, everybody. It's been an absolute delight to see you all. It's been really good. And I hope you've enjoyed the stream. Don't forget to be kind to yourself, be kind to each other. Don't rescue people to your own detriment. Be generous with what you can support, but when support starts turning into detriment for yourself, be aware that's rescuing and it's not good for you. I think we can all do better than that, because if you know you go down, you can't help anybody. So helping people is fine. Rescuing people is probably not. But thank you so much, everybody. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.